quite a few people's first and last mistake to doubt Loud in the past. Am I wrong to still put so much faith in Loud here? I don't know where I sit.
I'm kind of with you. I haven't bought in fully to Gen.G, but I think this matchup is the one that could potentially validate a lot of that hype. If they can come out here, even, I mean, dare I say, in a loss, put up a good performance.
No, I think you're right. I think it is just kind of how do they look? What does Gen.G look like on that international stage, which is what this is all about. Does it translate well? Have they got what they need? We know that Loud can do that. They've got the previous reps, so there's a little tick in that box for me. But beyond that, we wait and see how they look, because it's not like they've been flawless throughout their regular season. A lot of doubts have crept into people's minds, but we digress. As the round does begin, of course, that will mean that Gen.G are on the attack, Loud on the defending side, and actually we've got a triple walk up middle. That's going to be Munchkin's duty to try and deal with it, at least note it early enough, but the plant's going to come through. The attention is there from mid as well, so Gen.G doing well to dismantle Munchkin and open up the options of pinching the site. But I like what Gen.G are doing, focusing a little bit of that pressure towards CT.
Yeah, taking some space elsewhere, getting themselves set up ahead of now coming back through. But Sadak's found two here for free on detection. Actually, potentially getting a third, but Karen there to shut it down. Less with the response, but Diffuse already coming through here, Lauren. And a beautiful cleanup from Loud. In the blink of an eye, Gen.G unable to really convert that space into anything, any sort of security there over the site.
And you've got to say Sadak was the big proponent of that, right? The one who kind of cracked back through, dealt with that site pressure. It felt like it was really just lucky at kind of taking that CT space in the end. He kind of fell a little short when it was only him doing it. And as I said, you lose so much of the presence on the site itself. But again, explosive start for Loud here. That's a nice way to shake off any sort of doubts. You're like, all right, we've got a good little beginning. Buyback here, though, for Gen.G coming in on the Stingers.
Yeah, interesting to see what the plan's going to be. Well, I'm just going to run it down towards A site here. Stacked up outside. Some bodies in position here for Loud.
Who is it? We've got, what, Tui's just with the Ghost. Counting does have the Bulldog, so there's a little bit of backbone to it. And less as well, so actually pretty well equipped for this. But those Stingers could be a bit of a surprise coming out from this.
Once they get into Maze, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see how close they can get until the penny drops, right? And it's going to be about now. Texture going to note it, 1-for-1, trade out less on the back line. Dealing with luck here, but now this is the problem, right? Can they still control this? Can Gen.G break into securing this deeper part of sight? There's so many bodies here.
I mean, the fact that actually they've been able to maintain control. Tui's going to find one with a Ghost. ETL will fall, and there's two left to find here. So unfortunately, well, Munchkin does find one at range there. I was going to say, now that it actually slows down, Gen.G in a tricky position. Karen has actually got himself a Bulldog here.
And he's been one of the players to watch, right? I know a lot of people talk about texture, but Karen's mechanical capabilities, off the charts. Not going to get it this time, though. Sadak again, just kind of adding that little full stop to the round. No threats in the end. They do recover the Bulldogs that were maybe brought into question, but they're fine. They're back in hand, and they weather the storm. And Gen.G, that Stinger bite, where'd you rate it on this?
I mean, again, if they're able to convert that into getting a little deeper on site here, once this utility kind of fades out, and Loud have these open sight lines, that's where the Stingers then become a little more difficult. Once you're still stuck ahead of sight, nobody's in nest, nobody can really pressure towards spawn or towards heaven. Stingers feel a little flat at that point.
Yeah, they fall short. Now we're going to have the Sheriff round coming out. Again, beyond this, I'm just looking for the game to almost settle in. The tempo is very high right now, very brawly. They're both willing to challenge. I want to see if Gen.G do tempo pace at all, or if they continue along this sort of trajectory. This round not really going to be the highest indicator of it, but it's a good time to test, isn't it? You look across, see what Meteor's up to, see what he's finding out. What can he maybe derive from these sort of setups that Loud are playing? Can they pull these rotations? Where's the space?
Gen.G maybe spotted 2 or 3 members. Gen.G there. Happy to give up the space, but Sadak actually almost catching the cross back here. So Loud with a very good read on Gen.G's reposition here. Meteor didn't find anything on the other end. A very, very lax hold towards B, putting QCK in a position here, but delivers on the first. Munchkin will fall.
Yeah, he's not backing away yet. He's still good for another. Yeah, decides can't fall away from yellow. That's not particularly a problem. He's still got the KJ utility to support him. You've still got Sadak controlling middle. The one thing I'll say is that Meteor's got some good info here. This might have to then be an adjustment for the round following, that if they've noticed the deep setup coming out from the KJ, rather than maybe keeping more of an attentive look towards tunnel. Any more damage to be had here. Lakia with a good attempt. No connection. Now just carry on. 1v4. Spike could not be further away and comfy for less.
A clean start here for Loud, a 3-0 scoreline. So Gen.G toying with a little bit of investment here to maybe try and catch them off guard.
Any ults nearby?
Nothing really on the brink for Gen.G. A couple of ultimates on the brink, though, for Loud. Gen.G, one off the Hunter's Fury.
Lovely.
The lockdown next in line after that. Need to see a response here from Gen.G though, because the credit's starting to stack on the side of Loud. Themselves very comfortable.
QCK looking like he wants to go for the operator too. Kind of considering the options. I mean, he was up to 7K. He has every right to fancy his chances, but again, very different setup. Hard to get a bit of a beat on what Loud are up to, and it looks like Munchkin right off the rip wants to take space. Sadak has to respond, respect that he can't do this alone, because again, look at where they were pressured, where they were looking at the start. Sadak just waiting. He's got the support now. Calling in Kawanzin. Tui's as well towards CT. So they've responded. I don't think that knife was going to really locate much. Clearing close, so they know that yellow is the next step.
Yeah, not a massive tell on the back of that. Usually still going to take the space here. Loud happy to concede. Doesn't really seem like there's any pressure point here for Gen.G to try and exploit.
No, I'm looking for that late mid presence, right? Meteor maybe starting to drift that way, but Sadak will be watching it. Whether or not he can win the fight, yet to be seen. Looks like the deep flash is being set up. Anyone going to try and utilize that? There's the high flash going in, and Sadak does find Lackey, but that's not the mid lurk. Texture break through towards CT, and he looks to secure some space. But again, remember, roll your mind back. The pressure on the site was too much before for Gen.G to handle, and once again, from a similar position, less punishing. It was Sadak before, it's less now, and his Texture with a world of trouble. Less out on top, and this again, Loud have lovely positioning on this side hold.
A great awareness from Loud to understand how Gen.G are going to approach versus this composition. Talked about the possibilities behind Munchkin and Lakia to set up Texture. See Loud just concede all this space. They anticipate exactly what's going to happen. Sadak actually shutting down Meteor at the perfect time as well.
This position is going to be the death.
Even that didn't even catch that. The recon pinging just behind the wall, anticipating Gen.G had stacked up, ready to challenge Tui's utility.
Did they note the operator? I don't know if that, I don't think I heard it rattle, because it was QCK mostly holding towards A solo, so I don't know if they've quite got that. Maybe understanding the possibility, but see if they're fully aware of it now. Time to shine. QCK. 5 potential victims. So Stingers again, happy to run this. And the right read from Loud. They have the 3 players here. There's the flash to force him away. That was a kill and a half if he got the chance, but lovely side pressure. This is lovely. That's much better from Gen.G. Look at how comprehensive that take was. It's forced them into a retake. It's taken away the operator. This is very nice.
Up to Fury and the lockdown available here for Loud, though, if they choose to invest. And actually, weapons haven't been recovered, so these Stingers need to tuck into sight here. Still find value. Tui's caught off guard here, will fall.
Love that from Texture, staying a little bit deeper, willing to put his life on the line, and they're just willing to brawl it. Willing to fight it out. Sadak trying to take the space back, but there's still so many players. This was outstanding by Gen.G, really turning the screws on that side take. They want Sadak dead. Trying to get out with the operator, but he's hunted down. Texture close by. Can he keep hold of this? Sadak desperate to. Trying to leave a little note for them on the way out, but yeah, it looks like he's made it away for now. I'm just keep eyes on this, because that is a prized possession, and Munchkin's got it out of his cold, dead hands. Now, Mike, that side take, that pressure, there was no safety there for Loud.
I mean, you can see the value from the utility. Immediately, both players force off these early angles. Nothing really from the operator, no pressure on an early angle. And straight away, Texture and Karen find kills, and early on we see this was the intention with that earlier Stinger purchase, but this time around able to find the value on the way in. Yeah. And Loud have to respect it.
Yeah, that was really
so
quite special to watch.
With a response there in terms of a kill to trade back for Loud, they have tools, they have the Hunter's Fury, the lockdown to come back into that, but didn't seem feasible for them.
Well, they found something that worked. Might be running it again. That was a MasterCard Thrifty too, in case you missed it. That was still those Stingers, those Sheriffs, and now with a little bit of the ults behind it, they should be able to clear sight very comfortably. Gen.G showing us what they can do here. Obviously known for the individuals, but this execution works well. Now we see Loud with numbers though. This could be the difference. There's the lockdown, there's the counter utility. They're starting to build back in and force them away with the spike planted. How do they deal with the back line though?
So what did Loud get done whilst this lockdown's going through? The Hunter's Fury posted as well. QCK on the flank, found by Texture. Beautiful headshot here, and Loud seemingly just get nothing but space. Look at the HP bars here for Gen.G, but less will remove Lakia.
Good shot, but they're still not on the spike.
No.
The defuse still not started. There are problems here for Loud. Sadak with the first tap, but it's traded. Again, still numbers sitting well enough for Gen.G. They've got to break that back line. Kawanzin desperately trying to do so. Texture, he's on it, and he's absolutely belting in this game so far. I've got to
so active. He came all the way back through there and found a kill in mid.
Wow.
Closes out the 3K on site. Cowan did, for a moment, slip the net there, unnoted, but couldn't find another kill. Like I said, it was crucial, really, what Loud could achieve in that time of the lockdown. But it wasn't anything. No safety here. Tui's not even really able to secure a half defuse or anything with the Cove. Early timeout called here from Loud.
Probably the right choice, because, I mean, they've been presented something that they don't have a solution to yet, and that was with
a Thrifty and
Fury and a lockdown.
Yeah.
That was meant to be the one where you think, oh, okay, well, the last one they caught off guard, maybe didn't have the opportunity to use all that util. Okay, well, this time they're still on the full buy and they've got everything they need. That still worked out just as well, so credit where it's due, and starting to see texture warming up here. That's another tick in the box.
And I don't believe this time I was really to make many adjustments this early on, especially with this scoreline, maybe to just quell any sort of momentum Gen.G are going to get off that Thrifty and a fast hit. Definitely keep our eyes on what the response is if Gen.G decide to continue with this pace, because now, obviously, Bladestorm invested, there's the pit available, a lockdown of their own in the hands of Meteor. Munchkin went off the null command as well, so definitely tools to continue with that sort of pace and seemingly get a site for free off the back of the lockdown and secure with the pit. Now, I'd have to have a bit of awareness here. Well, they want to dig a little deep. Obviously, QCK now no operator to play with. A little bit of a broken buy, actually, if you look at Cowan.
Yeah.
On top of that.
2 players, be able to get that full
X2's is brought down to 600 as well.
And it looked like Gen.G were considering readdressing that B site, but back to what worked, and a more proactive beginning on the B side of the map as well for Loud, already going to post up QCK and drift back over. So maybe a little bit of a different look, but Gen.G have tools now. They have that lockdown for themselves, so once again should allow safe passage towards the site.
Actually, the response there, yeah, Les going to put out the pit to try and prevent any sort of value on site. Can he get back into the stone? Texas, look at the challenge!
Look at that guy! Oh my word, Cowanzine, that's a little bit of an upset for him, but he took down Texture at the very least. I guess you're going to have to get what you're given at that point, but Lakia didn't relent. He didn't fall away, and he still got 2. And now into a 2v3. Numbers favorable to Gen.G, and that post plant, again, brutal to break. What can Tuis and QCK do? Luckily, yes, QCK did get a rifle now, so maybe a little better equipped. But that back line, it's always that last sentence in this Icebox chapter. How do you get around it? 'Cause look at the util again. QCK with a glimpse towards the spike gets warded off. Meteor willing to live close by. Again, the utility poured in. Meteor getting closer, just ensuring it. He doesn't want to even let it go to chance or lose his life, but the time's already lost. And again, Gen.G showing off a little now.
Texture with a hero play here to shut down any sort of re-aggression from Loud as soon as that lockdown's expired. I think it's actually a second ahead of it as well. So he's catching maybe a couple of people with their backs turned. You know, here, yeah, Cowan's there. That's unfortunate to obviously lose less in that situation, because he did post the pit. I was curious whether or not he had the timing to get back into that to maintain, but
oh, they're loving it.
one more round to tie things up, and even with that broken purchase previously, Loud able to maintain rifles here.
Feels almost ridiculous that they can get a buyout, right? It just felt so out of kilter.
Texture catching a stray there.
It's the first time we're starting to see Gen.G re-explore a little, already show something towards B. It's not a great deal yet, but the pace feels different already. So Loud knows something has changed. It's just what's changed.
See the pings here. They're also going to hear QCK fall back from B main here. You can see Gen.G stacking up behind this, leaving Meteor the solo lurk. So QCK will be called upon here.
This is a lot to handle. And he takes a scalp of 1. Caron gone. He's going to fall back safely. Probably the right choice here, but they did lose less on the other side of the map, so almost trade out here, right? You've got less gone, Caron gone, but now where do they go? Gen.G have a little bit of the run of the map here. They can try and pull those rotations. And a lot of faith being left in QCK because they're going back towards A.
And Loud with a decent read on this, on the back of that information from Cowanzine's Owl drone, but are they expecting everybody? Yeah, it's a very late hit here. Tui's throwing up another wall, but the null command will be the catalyst here.
30 seconds left.
Gen.G going to try and brute force their way on here. Texture to lead the charge.
And Cowanzine's so blind. Again, these side takes between Lakia's flash, between the flash coming out from Munchkin. It is just gorgeous to witness. So well crafted that even in those final seconds of the round, when it was late, it still looks comfortable. This asks a lot of QCK. He started well, he's going to have to end even better. The third Oh, yes. Oh, my word.
He was almost on for the adjustment there.
Yeah, I thought he might have that, but Meteor there, safe pair of hands, and Gen.G looking like the real deal here, Mike.
I mean, able to overcome Loud in a situation where, like I said, they actually timed that perfectly with the Owl drone. Only spotting Meteor, but not over-rotating. And this is something that I get noted, especially in the secret matchup regionally. Gen.G really struggled with some of these later round hits where, you know, they don't win out on the initial plan. The perfect example here of something maybe they've cleaned up in the downtime.
They're happy with it. QCK trying to get in their faces, though. Oh, dear. You feel a bit silly now, don't you?
The awareness, obviously the knife has pinged him, so diligent by Gen.G, but Meteor, a very deep position already. All the way up to Boiler here.
Stop dipping. Not what you wanted
dry,
there.
though.
Yeah, no support, no flash, nothing. And there's Meteor striking as well. They've just found layers to this. They found availability, right? They're starting to really turn the screws. Sight still, oh my word. A little bit of damage, yes, don't get me wrong. It is a 1v3, but you look at the HP. Look at what Les is working with. Boy's barely breathing. Gonna wheeze his way out of this round, probably. Texture, though, he fancies his chances. Deeper angle, tricky to clear. Diligent from Les. Doesn't matter, though, does it? Gen.G tipping the scales now into their hands. 5 now to the good. And Loud haven't had an answer. And I love seeing this kind of little bit of a look back towards, you know, testing middle a little bit here. Didn't do it instantly after learning of that space that Meteor garnered way earlier in this game. And now starting to flex into it into round 9, starting to really punish the stack that they had to put towards A, but still not able to break Gen.G's approach.
And just coming back to what we did see regionally, it was on the attacking side where Gen.G looked a little lost for, you know, any sort of mid-round ideas, how to really pivot out of tricky situations here. I'm not even really seeing what their win condition was, which was Munchkin kind of dominating late rounds on solo efforts, Texture doing the same thing in the early round. A little bit concerning here that Gen.G have relatively easily taken total control for the first half of Icebox here. It's only 1 round separating them though.
Deep flash, trying to work off the back of it. Texture
quarter, yeah.
Yeah, a little unfortunate, and we've seen that position do well. Yeah, Loud still seem to have such a good read on this B take, but anywhere else, if they go away, they're screwed. Yeah, Loud just with a quick reminder of who they are here. The Munchkin, rough position. Does at least have time on his side, but he's got a lot of targets to handle. Goes up, lovely adjustment, but now there's problems. 9 HP and a bit of a dream, and that is not where you wanted it to go. Still got to do more here. Pressure, up close and personal. QCK going to close out the round with a defuse coming in from 2Es, but again, Loud's problems weren't on B. It was that A take that we saw Gen.G running against them that worked.
It's similar to before, where we see them obviously concede this space. They're happy to have somebody watching the backside of this Viper wall, but they anticipate all of this aggression all the way towards Snowman. Les actually the one to shut it down, seal the deal on that control, but Gen.G already built up a bit of a bankroll with that string of rounds. Comfortable in the purchase, just about getting back towards some of these key ultimates coming online. On the side of Loud, Kaunzine and 2Es, who have theirs available. Operator back in the hands of QCK as well. Curious what he can get done now.
Okay, well, it's been noted early, and it's a 3-2 split for now, right? So they're going to try and keep touch on both sides of the map. But Sadak, are you ready for this? Absolutely not. Karen was holding this. We've seen a couple of rounds of them holding deep like this. It got checked on maybe once, but it's not every round. So a little bit of variety, catching Loud out once again, opening up that opportunity towards A. QCK, you're looking to backfill this. The timing is everything, though. He's got support, 2-3 players all looking towards middle. This is massive, and a great shot from him. He needs to play this out. He needed more than that, but luckily for him, there was support, but Caron again still there. Still getting the favorable trade, still getting the spike back to hand, and it's just Les now. They have no idea where he is fully, right? They're going to lose track of that, but with 50 seconds, what does Les do?
I'm curious now of whether or not he's even caught a step. Knows that obviously the turret was removed previously. Whether or not they have a read on where Meteor's utility is going to be, I guess by default. We'll be here to hear the plant at least.
He's guessed correctly. But it's just... Oh my word! Oh! Caron! This guy is impressing me. You got Texture kind of the headliner, right? The guy towards the top of it, yeah, absolutely ripping open some of these rounds, but Caron mechanically looking sharp to close. So again, very impressed with Gen.G here. Very impressed.
And I'm curious if this is kind of something that Loud want to drill with Sadak to be the one to force the issue all the way out of B. Whether or not it's just that the turret's there, they anticipate that the heavier lean for Gen.G is outside A here, and Sadak's going to maybe have a 1v1. Or maybe somebody lurking up towards spawn ramp. But shut down so quickly that it gives Gen.G so many options, with the Killjoy falling first.
Just checking if anyone's getting up close. Not going to be rewarded for that, but again, kind of Gen.G slipping into more of a default, right? Maybe expecting that Loud be going exploring, which they've been rewarded by in the last couple of rounds. That mid presence, that lurk up B. They've truly got that kind of I'd say understanding of the tempo that Loud wants to do.
Almost trying to bait it out here with Lakia posturing a little bit with the Odin, but Loud not biting. Obviously less down on a stinger, so whether or not you can see any sort of aggression here or wait to maybe retrieve a weapon off a trade or something like that. The knife going to give things away. Up on 45 seconds left here for Gen.G, but their sights set towards A.
4-play stack. High flash goes in.
Gold Command's going to come out here.
Yep. That's going to be ready to go. So again, we were crediting and complimenting these late round hits. Loud have numbers, but do they have the ability to stop the roll from Gen.G? Already, sight is theirs. It's so comprehensive from Gen.G.
Yeah,
Viper's Pit 2, what are you going to do against this?
So many tools there. Hang on, Caron just got warbanged. The pit's down.
Oh
Lockdown's going to expire here, and actually the regress here on 2E's and Cowan Z's ultimate.
Texture, hold on, still in a good position. Oh, the drive-by from Sadak! Ridiculous! This is how Loud
gave them the lockdown!
Okay, and there it is. Gen.G forced to respect it, have to drift away. Still trying to keep eyes towards the spike. Where is this? Great shot towards 2E's. Wants the fob, gets the fob! The lockdown.
He got detained!
Oh no! He just jumped a touch forward. Munchkin now, forced to go in here. Has to hold it together. He can't do it! Loud fighting back in the last round of the first half. Barely closing this up.
What a ridiculous back and forth for the final round of this half. So many ultimates in play. The pendulum really swinging. And such a crucial kill to shut down the Viper's Pit. That's the stranglehold that Gen.G had, Lauren. And that drive-by is ridiculous from Sadak.
It just felt inhuman. You know, Loud will give you a couple of those, I think, but I think credit where it's due. That 5-round run that Gen.G went on was masterful, outstanding. Let's see what the desk thinks of this.
Oh, I'm so happy Icebox is back. What a start that was, and a great half of Valorant, but it's time to jump into our HyperX Reflex of moment of the day, and this one goes to Texture.
Yeah, exactly. I think that this is probably the moment where we see Gen.G back into the game after Loud gets all those rounds, and it's Texture getting all these kills and doing so in a couple of rounds in a row, actually being that determining piece into, hey guys, I cannot go alone. I need you to follow right after me because they're very well positioned. But if we overwhelm them, we can make it through.
Texture and Caron, both these players who were great in Pacific, showed up here in the first half. But I think what made it for Gen.G was that flash combo and how they built those execs. The KO Gecko combo, especially when going A, was excellent, and Loud was always forced to play into retake. But towards the end of that first half, Loud's retakes really started to step things up. In particular, some of these rounds where they're kind of intentionally playing back, waiting till they hear that flash combo, and then instantly swinging forward to flood. It was really great adaptation by Loud to bring a half 6-6 that really seemed like it was going to be dominant for Gen.G.
Yeah, exactly. And now thinking about the switch, like how is this going to look from the defense? I want to see Texture just jumping up on them. I want to find that balance that I've seen from them in many other maps, just knowing when to aggress and knowing when to give the space. I feel like there was a bit of overheating coming from Loud in some of these rounds, just because they wanted to show they're the better team, they have the upper hand, and I think that calming things down probably gave Gen.G some of that advantage here.
Yeah, Loud on this attack side, when they're playing the Harbor Viper, they're really good at kind of playing the mid-round a little bit, using the cascades to take extremities, and then having these powerful late-round sight hits. But again, this is going to be about the retakes. The Gecko KO comp is really strong at that. Gen.G honestly should be favored here.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I smell a little upset coming up. But let's jump into back into the second half and see if we are indeed going to get an upset.
Yeah, Sue, I completely agree. Smooth on that one.
It stinks in here. It stinks.
You can smell it. The upset is in the air. 6-6. There is something in this game that we can't ignore. Gen.G coming out looking good, backing up the words that they were happy to bring out that, hey, we weren't here when Gen.G, you know, when Loud were winning champion. None of that. None of that. So it's like, okay, we'll see. We'll see if it's actually there, if it's all just a little bit of hype talk. But for now, quick pace coming out from Loud. Making no secrets of this, but Texture, Lakia, they're all there, and they are all winning out these fights, leaving just Quarantine and Texture. He's going in!
A smile on his face as well.
Love to see it. This guy is getting fired up.
And this is a pistol round that's almost designed to take control back, get themselves back in control of the tempo after that first half, but Loud absolutely shut out of B site. Bodies in place here from Gen.G. A good boost for them as well to try and carry this across into the second half.
Oh, that's huge. All the things that can go right have been, but this is quite audacious. Loud could punish this. Oh, or not! Or not! Apparently Munchkin just gets away with murder. Eventually goes down to less, but he's just left a massacre on the ground by A. Gen.G going to be smiling about this one too, looking clean enough. Certainly not flawless at this point, but still. What can less do with this anymore? You can maybe claim pride's sake. He's being toyed with though. Texture's going to back off from that one. He's not liking what he's seeing, but still, what a start here.
Yeah, it was Munchkin really putting up numbers versus Secret that individually just looked absolutely phenomenal. Have another performance like that here with that round 2 of the second half. Already off to a good start in that regard. Les is going to be given a consolation here.
Maybe.
He's got to make sound to drop off here. That's Karen to be the first, but once again, shut down here. Gen.G. 2 rounds to kick off the second half. An early response here. You saw how quickly Gen.G were able to carry away once they did get control in the first. That was after Loud started 4-0.
You can't ask for much better, can you? You have your probably, one of your big name players, Texture already having a great start. Then you're pumping up Munchkin as well, starting to feel out the game. I mean, Munchkin's one away from his ult.
Yeah.
It's
in round
right
3,
there.
yeah.
Wow, got to answer back here.
He's going to get it. So the orb retrieved here outside A.
Job done.
QCK had a chance there to swing onto Lakia, but respecting it.
Careful.
So contact found, and QCK actually dashes all the way out.
Yeah, they're drifting across already, going to pull those rotations in.
Munchkin down to 55 HP, but obviously with the ultimate, maybe a second chance at life here. They do decide to invest. 2 Guardians, 2 Bulldogs. Next year with a scope in hand, so a little bit hesitant here.
Yeah, there's a pause here.
I mean, they have successfully baited out the ultimate, but Munchkin still delivers. QCK will fall.
And you know what? If he didn't just get that round he had one prior, I don't think he's swinging that on the HP, but he just delivers it again. Caron on the back lines, great shot towards Sadak. And they've just capitulated. They've faltered, which is very anti-Loud. And they pick it up here. Munchkin is still down low. County's going to find Meteor, but no, Munchkin's still going to hold that line just perfectly.
15 HP, still delivering.
He's still holding. He's buying time for this flank. Look where Texture is. Look at the minimap right now. Come back to watching Munchkin. If he can buy a couple more seconds, precious time, that's perfect. So he's going to tuck himself in, make him try and hunt him down.
They get spotted. They spotted the rifle.
He's cleared, but there's Texture. That's what it was all about, trying to buy time for him. But now the position's noted. But 13 seconds, this puts 2. He's right under the gun. He's got to get that plant, or he's got to toy with the time and try and catch out Texture. But Texture's looking ice cold. He's looking like a killer. He's moving in, closing in, and he's got him dead! Gen.G off to a flying start in the second half.
Beautifully done. Munchkin running down the clock. And actually, the kill comes through. It's traded out at the perfect time by Texture. Tui's just so many question marks after that. Tries to get the cove down, tries to bait it out with the first tap of the spike, but Munchkin, man, like I said, 15 HP, still delivering, digging his heels in here. That's a 3-0 start here. Loud back down to a broken purchase. Some pistols, a stinger. Tui's an ultimate to work with, but not much else really to pin your hopes to.
And this point, unless, you know, Loud do rekindle a little bit here, that's rough. That's rough. That was ambitious and didn't work out. Now down to the 3. This is when I start worrying about the larger picture of the map pool, because we are walking into the unknown after this.
I didn't want to talk about it. Yeah,
it's early, but it's looking like 10's just around the corner. So it does make me worry about seeing Breeze.
It does.
So I'm sure the desk will, you know, hit on that afterwards, and we will, I'm sure, harp on about it. But this is certainly scary times for Loud and the fans, as Gen.G looking meticulous, flawless in this.
Double digits already here. Loud, I mean, very precarious in terms of their finances here as well, because they're going to buy back in here. Potentially, if they concede this, it's 11. This is a pivotal round in terms of the outcome of map 1 here. Sadak's unable to really convert the damage through the wallbang there. Again, I don't think it really would have made too much of a difference. Gen.G well equipped on both sides of the map.
They're having fun. Every round just seems fun to them, which is, it sounds silly, but it makes such a difference.
Yeah, and the concern being coming into round 17, there aren't enough real playmakers in terms of the ultimates here to string together for Loud. They need to do some heavy lifting here to find their way into this. Yes, Tui's is there, but feels a little flaky in a full 5v5 execute to throw that ultimate out.
So early.
Texas spotted it out as well. I mean, look at how deep Gen.G are pushing now. Yep. They're so happy to continue this limit testing here and forcing Loud. I mean, look at the minimap now. There's no other options really.
Too risky to go anywhere else. So.
Well, Loud are still considering it. With 60 seconds on the clock, they're going to potentially re-explore mid or A.
I just feel like I haven't seen Loud play like this in a long time.
It's hesitant once again. Yeah. Noted it in the first half.
Which is bizarre. It could prove a nice little fake, having Sadak do this to be, you know, the one to show. But you're leaving the rest of Loud, you know, QCK, Tui's, to walk into A and just hope they succeed. There's still 2 players there. They haven't pulled these rotations.
That's a big kill, though.
That is huge. But again, I'm looking at the 2 players on A. Now, less court texture. That's the one that mattered. There is still a man close by. That being Lakia. Can he do any damage? Can he be the man? No, not this round, not now. QCK with a quick beheading and looking to dominate, looking to control this site, make sure it was worth it. A long played fake coming out from Loud. Very valuable and very well handled. It's just Meteor now. Position is noted. And Loud looking like they clawed one back here.
I was going to say, need to keep it clean here. I just want to see Meteor getting any other consolation. A must-win round for Loud, and they deliver. Obtaining 4 rifles, a little bit better in terms of the progress towards these ultimates now. A crucial kill from Sadak and Cowanzine to remain outside B site here. Try and catch a rotation. It just so happened at pretty much exactly the same time.
Yeah.
The other half of Loud did find success on A as well, catching, I believe it was Texture to full first, and Lakia second on the chopping block. Operator back out for Texture here, Bladestorm in hand, but I said with that round victory, actually Loud now with the upper hand in terms of this ult cycle. Nothing available just yet, but look towards the Hunter's Fury, obviously the pit and the lockdown in this composition, all within touching distance.
The mid-walk will have limited success, at least initially, so the turrets, that should alert Loud that there was an attempt, but no one particularly fussed by it just yet. Still very focused on this approach. Again, these 3-2 splits. Last time it was more kind of 4-1, Sadak being the one to pressure towards A. And look at the pull of rotations. 4 players in response. This could be quite, you know, the masterclass if Sadak can keep calling these fakes that are pulling the rotations. Lakia's timing was just out of this world. QCK caught unawares, but Cowanzine's there to back it up, so still going to keep players close by. But now Loud need to strike, right? They need to kind of find that timing to hit B here.
They do.
Caron is holding.
They need to capitalize because Munchkin's slowly edging, making his way through mid, under tube. plant will come down. I don't think Karen can deny. Oh, nearly catches Sadak on a retreat though.
Okay, they got what they wanted.
We do have a late Hunter's Fury here though, so whether there's any backline awareness or Munchkin's going to be the one to potentially try and shut that down. Actually invested, but not going to find not going to find anything on the back of that.
No, so now we wait and see. Does that pressure start mounting? Can Gen.G break the back line? They've already pulled Munchkin back through towards a standardized approach. This is now going to get scary, right? There's the Hunter's Fury, going to be drawn out from the tap of the spike. Spray from 2Es is good. Follow-up is better. They're holding on to this. Munchkin going down on 2Es. Exceptional work there. Loud finding life, finally.
And a couple of those and potential to break the funds of Gen.G. Actually, even looking at it here, Karen's down to 2350. Maybe that's why we see the timeout here. You have to string something together, but really well coordinated here. It's obviously QCK, heartbreaking to ever see a death like that. He's just a split second away from maybe slipping into a more dangerous position.
But the overall picture, it's Loud achieving great success on these kind of fakes. To an extent, I say fakes, but it's just kind of showing presence on the other side of the map. I mean,
yeah,
it's just
a widespread default that they are finding value on both extremities.
But it is so widespread, and it does make me slightly nervous. For now, it's working, so I'm not going to doubt it, right? It's silly to doubt something that is proving fruitful. But as said, when you saw QCK catching some really bad timing, fortunately, Kalanzine was there. But it's quite precarious. They're willing to make these risks, which is working out for them really well here. Forcing the timeout from Gen.G. The gap getting close enough, they thought, okay, let's pump the brakes a little here. We don't want that momentum. Almost a response to what we saw from an earlier timeout from Loud. So very symmetrical in that matter. So we kind of check in on the ult. Almost again, very symmetrical in that regard. Both very close by. So this isn't just back in Loud's control. I think these have been some quite precarious rounds they've run. Obviously, Loud being as good as they are, they make them work. Exceptionally done. Now we're into the meat of it, though.
The concern being if you have somebody that's going to deliver for Gen.G, I guess across the map and from an individual standpoint, players like Texture, like Munchkin, potentially even Karen in these situations. I mean, it was called upon in the previous round, but not much of a chance to really stop that plant from going down. That's when it feels a little uneasy.
Oh, late switch as well. Just about, yeah. So Texture going to go for the operator, soloing out A, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, very, very early indication here of some aggression on the side of Gen.G. Loud have to respect it now. I think initially they were going to throw a little bit of U2 out. Texture able to control that op shot. Could have been rewarded wrong. Karen.
How did he get seen there?
Not entirely sure, but both snake bites used, and now doesn't really have the security to play up close and personal. As Loud look to re-aggress, but will shut down the owl drone. So question mark still here.
Audacious from Munchkin to be the one to go back in.
No
oh,
way.
Come on. That's filthy. Back-breaking for Loud as well, just to lose out to that judge. They've got the upgrades they wanted to. Karen was willing to die for that. That's fine. He'll take that every day of the week. You guys lock it down afterwards. I've done the damage. Less than QCK now in that position at yellow could be the end of the Munchkin. Still holding on to this one. QCK going to try and check close, loses out. And less now. There's so much and so little opportunity.
This is so bizarre. I think at some point Karen spotted whether or not they don't see he's got a judge, I think is the issue. The knife obviously removes the owl drone and immediately Gen.G re-aggress. They post up close once again. You see here just under the minimap. Obviously the suppress onto Kalanzine. Loud just caught off guard a little bit here.
But a nice gambit, right? A nice little just, okay,
sure.
Get the judge, play up close, see what we can do, right? And you're willing to give it a run. We're back into a more traditional looking round, it seems. I think, apart from QCK, but he does have his ults, that's not a problem. But a Brawl looking to break out. Lakia, the first one forward, finds the scalp of 2. He's looking for the follow-up. He's going to get at least an attempt at it. But backups arrived. Karon, Munchkin, all here. Dizzy goes out. Lakia still buying time. Sadak still putting up numbers, though. Body's starting to drop here. Can he do any more damage? Lakia is holding his nerve. I don't know how he's still doing this. Oh, less lovely work from him. But look, you can see the crunch, right? Texture is on the way. Meteor, how long do you hold here? How long are you going to stay here?
Look at the flank from Texture.
He's on the way, but...
He's already on the outside of this lockdown.
Oh my word, Meteor. Scary to me.
A little bit curious.
Yeah, don't know what the game plan was there. Mike, did I miss something?
A little bit curious. There is a space in that, so he had a chance to at least, I don't know, take a 50-50 back up into the corner there.
Better than a 0. I mean...
because then Texture's completely caught off guard.
Yeah, that was...
Scratching my head a little bit over that one, but I mean, maybe just a little frantic, maybe expecting Loud to push up and maybe, I guess, lack a little complacency. But after the start of this round where Gen.G time and time again have shown they're happy to be aggressive on A, yeah, left scratching their head as well.
Maybe we missed something, maybe so did Gen.G at that point.
I mean, I did touch on this initially, the plans for Gen.G, and talking back to some of these series that we saw recently, the initial plan, and things kind of just going really skew if after that falls apart. They're not really knowing what to do, not really having any direction when, you know, there's sort of a little bit of chaos, or there's some questions to answer mid-round, and a reaction is really required from them. But yeah, I'm not sure.
And funny enough, it's a timeout from Loud here. Maybe to let them just...
take stock of things, yeah. We're obviously getting towards the end of this Gen.G up on 11 rounds, but...
Look at the string of rounds, though. It has been the 2 back-to-back for Loud with those lovely kind of, you know, wider defaults, you know, more exploratory towards A as well. The one right back into it, and then the answer just then, there was, as I said, a very uncharacteristic round, kind of caught us all off guard. But we refocus and we look towards what we're seeing, and Gen.G's money has suffered.
Yeah, I mean, 2 Guardians and a Vandals come into this, but look at what the old cycle is potentially going to be in the next round for them.
Snowball.
Yeah. Lots of things at their disposal. Less than 2 E's ultimates on the other side. QCK, an operator back in hand once again. Gen.G happy to continue. I mean, it's 4 deep here on A site. Now going to try and make a quick decision on the back of that.
Oh! Shots.
Les absolutely decapitates Lakia.
Les is pretty decent at this game, isn't he?
Texture going to swing on it as well. Yep.
Oh! The baiting, though. They tried to play him in off it, but it looked like Loud was starting to really get that read. Starting to feel a bit more comfortable, seeing a little bit of that diligence, kicking back into place. Meteor and Munchkin just trying to make anything happen, and Les is having none of it, really, just free farming now. He's already got his ult. Oh, the moves. Not going to happen there, Munchkin.
Really, really well handled anti-eco here, and that's the sort of composure we expect from Loud to punish these sort of plays, keep Gen.G in check. To say that, though, 11-10 the scoreline, still need to tie things up. Bladestorm out of the equation, but these big ultimates still available for Gen.G. Lockdown, no command, and the pit.
They are looming, right? There is that slight worry. It's just kind of hanging over the head.
I mean, I'm worried because we're already at this scoreline here.
When do they pull the
trigger? To
be
honest, with how Gen.G have performed, the nature of some of these round victories, it's been really telling. They were the ones really that set the precedent at the start of this map, and in my eyes have continued.
I agree. Now, operators come out for QCK this time. Looking to maybe work off the back of that owl drone, clearing the space towards B. We do see there is a player tucked in by yellow, and massive rotations, actually. 4 players being called back in towards B. Maybe just off the back of a lack of any audio cues, any presence towards A. Maybe putting stock in this now after falling foul for those A presence plays. But already you can see that flash coming in and the fight starts. Karen with a fantastic double. Finding Les, finding Kawanzin, and they are running.
Yeah, Texture. The anchor over towards A. Sorry, Sadak.
Ooh, he's seen him.
Does catch a glimpse. But a crucial 1v1 here.
Does he go again? Texture. You can see him. He was considering it for a second, but he thinks better of it, right? Play safe, play your life. The double pump.
Wait, yeah, 2E's has just completely faked this out with that utility.
Look at that spike running. That's so good. And the lockdown. Oh, and Joe, if Sadak feels like he's being a Galaxy Brain, get into middle if you feel like he could, but he's going to back up his boys, get back towards the side. They're going to get a plan out. They don't know the level of success they've had, but they could not have asked for a better outcome, making the impossible possible. And now how deep does QCK go here? Oh, that's perfect. Meteor's out of there. Fair now. 3v3. Ridiculous. Munchkin still got ult, still got knife. Not much utility outside of that, though. Where do they find that success? Yeah, no QCK at yellow here.
No flash to really open things up here, so it's going to be a dry gunfight on the way back through. Munchkin drifting pretty deep here.
Here we go. This is a scary time. Spotted him for a second. A pixel out of place, but he's worried about the fuse. Texture punching QCK. I thought he saw him, but maybe it was just a stray shot. Dewey's now getting paranoid, getting pulled in, and maybe Texture going to close that gap. He's trying to. Sadak in the same sort of position, and now Dewey's. Oh, he's overwhelmed. Gen.G. This time is down to the wire.
Oh my God!
No way!
And again, it's a little chaotic there because I don't think the communication is clear on whether or not the diffuser's being stuck.
No, they had no idea. It felt
Both
like.
individual players from Loud, I think, spot out 2 members of Gen.G, but they're just charging to, or maybe they think they had the timing down and they just need to get bodies off the spike. But this kill onto Sadak here almost seals the deal with Tui's spamming so much. 0.26 will get Gen.G to map point here.
Oh, wow. That is a kick to the guts for Loud, though, isn't it? Feeling winded after that one, after calling the perfect rotation.
I felt done.
Yeah, but Texture
Loud had done everything they needed to.
He's going walkabouts and Sadak. He's missed his timing to catch this. It will eventually show, sure, but by now,
That's
space gone. This scares me. This scares me. Look who's lurking, look who's waiting. Texture could be in for a blinding round. Bear in mind, he could get played in Balakia here as well. There is that opportunity.
This is rough because the pings are coming out. You can see on the minimap here, Nest and Pipes have been pinged.
No idea about Texture.
Oh my God.
Does he keep his cool?
He just hard cleared under on the wrong side.
Oh my God, they line up! And he almost knocked him down, but Lakia swings in at that last minute, punishing Kalanzine. This is looking like Loud is on the ropes in map 1 here. Opportunity dwindling. Less than 2, he's gonna have to dig deep now.
Yeah, detained. Up on Pipes here, it's less. Left standing, but Lakia will fall now.
They need more. That can't be enough, it needs to be more. A 2v3. Spike still in the hands of Tui's, and let's try to control the site.
Does have the pip, but obviously the null command going to remove that. Meteor will fall here. That's going to get another one. He has indeed. Oh my God!
What an absolute beast! When Loud needed him, he was there.
And Gen.G just seemingly no awareness that he was going to stay tucked into that corner.
Because I thought that was going to be Texture's moment, right? You're looking at that round, you run it back, you look at the minimap, surely gets to bailout from Lakia coming in less. What is
He's
that?
just so clean. I mean, even here to react to Munchkin,
Like,
throwing his life
as well.
on the line.
God tier, God tier.
Gen.G to pump the brakes a little bit after a heartbreaking round loss. And that will break the bank as well. Ultimate's invested. Karen's still with the pit, but I feel like Loud come out of that gleaming. Definitely with the upper hand here. A pit of their own, 1 away from the lockdown, 2 off the Hunter's Fury as well. And a shot to the heart of Gen.G, who probably felt like they were closing out map 1 there, Lauren.
Oh, man. Yeah, oh, come on, you're feeling that, right? Like, you, as said, you look at that mini-map, you play that back in your mind, you think, how does that play out? You're putting Gen.G up there, right? That's, anyone would. But then there's one man less standing
Absolute
there. What
superstar.
What a talent. And that is again, when you talk about value of kills, Les has got 25 kills. He is currently leading by a country mile. The value of those kills just then have kept Loud alive in map 1.
And the value of round 23 alone, sorry.
And he's broken the money.
Yeah.
Money's in tatters for Gen.G. It's never stopped them before, but in a moment like this, gotta still those nerves now.
Sadak, if he can sniff this out early on, turret's going to go out. Yeah, Sadak immediately bolting away.
Something.
Yeah, exactly.
He can feel it. And Sadak's calls, I've got to say, have been quite nice, especially on this half. I've been liking what I've been seeing. How much info does he get? Okay, a little bit of info. Not going to have the full weight behind
that should
it, but
be
it
the green
enough.
light. Absolutely is. Utility invested now. A-site up for grabs. QCK happy to take this space away. Meteor, will he get a chance to find anything here? But he's only got a Guardian. He's found one.
Massive, massive work. And now they're halted. The rotations are going to be in. Loud might have dropped the ball at the final hurdle, but Meteor getting a little too ahead of himself. Still wanted to do more. 50 seconds. There's time for rotations.
Texture, the only one actually in a position to catch this. Doesn't overcommit, but it's a little bit of a fake. It's pulled Lakia. So potentially going to pull Karen as well. They spotted the cross, but Loud immediately drift back towards A. And look at the map now.
They've been conditioned to respond to this. This is what Loud was doing during those string of rounds. So now it's all on Munchkin. He's trying to play ahead. This is so brave, so bold. He's going to take 1, 2. Oh, I thought a third.
That's huge, though.
But it's massive. The site is open, though. And with Les still alive, there is always going to be a chance.
And he has a pit to play with here. 1 snake bite left. 2 commits to the plant.
Plants in, first fight, he's got it. The drop down, did he spot it? It doesn't matter, Tui's he's there. And now just Caron, this guy has to step up. He's got to try and do something, but so much against him. And look at the reposition from Les. So hard to find, and Tui's gonna try and play his life, but Caron takes it away. 1v1. He knows where he is, but what are you gonna do
Les is
about
wrapping
it?
heaven. There's
He's
buying
toying with
so
him.
much time.
But can he get a safe defuse here?
I don't think you can actually get an
Can
angle
he
on
spam
this.
it? Can he stop this? Because Caron ain't stopping. He's going.
No
It's
way!
gonna be 13, and it is Gen.G steal away the 13th round. Heartbreak for the hero Les, having to watch that slip. It's us. So since Mike's back, thought we'd treat you again. But roll your mind back just a moment or two ago. Map 1 was mental. 13-11. Gen.G.
I still can't believe that ending.
What an end. Les's clutch, the defuse, the round after. It was wild. So let's hope we get a little bit of that. But no one knows, because Breeze was Loud's permaban. Gen.G didn't look fabulous, but the new comp, it's all unknown now. Loud on the attack, Gen.G on the defense. What the hell's going on, Dan?
Sure, and really for me, early on we need to see some sort of comfort from Loud, because obviously there were a few hit and miss rounds, a few 50-50s that didn't go their way on map 1, but coming into the question mark here on Breeze, definitely want to see them composed and in control here. They're going to drift very quickly over towards B. No real confirmations, I mean, other than deep down halls, the whereabouts of Gen.G, but with Munchkin and Caron posted up here, as I say that. Munchkin actually drifting out, but contact is found elsewhere.
Yeah, look how quick Les has got to this as well. He was so deep by that point. By the time they got contact, he was just by the pillar anyway. Good trade out for Munchkin, can at least keep touch somewhat on this. But again, it's not like QCK is stopping. He's really trying to take a lot of space here. Meteor and him very close by, but doesn't really make much odds. You're looking at the likes of Munchkin. You're then looking at Tui's. It's kind of, the fight on the fight, but who gets the timing on each other here? And actually, looking at this, Munchkin's got a lot of room. Finally noted by Tui's. Good timing to turn. QCK not going to spot Meteor crossing, and Loud. Very comprehensive pistol there.
And never really in doubt. The trade comes through, and Loud able to just steamroll their way onto B site. See if we do see Gen.G toy with the idea of any purchases once again.
Yeah, because they went for that Stinger bite,
Yeah,
didn't they, before?
the Stinger purchasing the Sheriffs to follow up as well. Let's clean up here from Cow and Zine. Maybe looking for, I mean, we don't say this often, but maybe looking for some early confidence boosters for Loud. It's not often they ever really have to rely on those.
But hey, it's. I think seeing the teams that have come out to this. Hey, nice. There we go. Not bad at all. Did actually take damage from that too, but
yeah,
seeing the kind of change of the guard, right? Yes, I'd say that Loud are one of the only remaining old gods here. There's very few who've been able to stand out, and yeah, of course there's roster changes to it, but still at least having a core who's been to previous events. It's a whole different world this year in Valorant, and I think a lot of teams know it. Right now, Gen.G showing us a great deal. Good little work from Les there, unfazed by the pressure over towards pushing out on B. And a little bit of attempt in middle. This round, somewhat of a throwaway, it feels like, as it is just kind of that Marshall 2 classics. That's it.
QCK looking to explore though. Hey, Les actually pulling a rotation here, was not Meteor and Nakia considering digging him out, not with the rotation coming through. So Caron will be called upon here. Sadak just turns his head at the wrong moment, but Tui's from the back lines. And QCK with his deep position will punish Lakia's rotation. Meteor just going to try and get an orb. Constellation will find a third from his death. There's some early progress towards it, but really much else for Gen.G really to work off of. QCK does catch a glimpse. And a 49 HP though. Did take the tag with the classic. The third on the round for him.
Outlaw wins. But still, I mean, it's just like, in my mind, I don't know what I make of this yet. It's still so early. I'm still waiting for it to crumble. I think map 1's left me reeling. I'm nervous about this game, Michael.
Yeah, I mean,
Genuinely,
already,
I don't know
like
what
I said,
to
if you look at this veto, obviously, Breeze's surprise, yes, but like I said, I wasn't buying into it too much, but I still would have expected Loud to come out on top on Icebox. Just seeing regionally where Gen.G struggled and where you'd expect a team like Loud and what we know of Loud to really excel at. I mean, Loud losing out on clutches.
weird.
Right, coming down to
Feels
1v1s
weird.
and then losing a map because of it.
Yeah, that doesn't feel right, but a little bit of a different look here. Loud, straight up tube. No subtlety to it. The Flash going to ring the dinner bell, and everyone's in response. Actually, Sadak the one to succeed there, taking down Meteor. That opens up the map. That causes such an issue. You put Munchkin now on his own, basically. If they can hold this, make it a problem, Texture's going to have to bail him out big here, which maybe he does. It is Texture, and Les has his eyes away from the prize, and Texture with the punish. Oh, not quite
Headshot.
there, but the headshot was QCK living through that. And pressure elsewhere again. I'm really surprised they're drifting at these times, trying to find this, information or trying to take space. Karen's been noted, so it's no surprise he's here either. They know that he's going to be still around. That spike is still in spawn. This is what I mean. I don't know what to make of this map. Tui's going to go down, and now Sadak overwhelmed. What is happening?
I'll be honest, a really bizarre setup on both sides of the coin here. Gen.G, like you said, drifting out in a number of different positions. Meteor gives his life up early, a rifle retained, but Loud unable to really convert that into any sort of snowball throughout that round. It seemed like a very, very strange round to watch back. Some damage done, but Gen.G retain. I mean, as much as they need. Lackey's going to come into this with a Guardian, but it's about as even as you'd expect coming into round 4 here. How this started. Sadak the closest at 2 off the null command. Actually, Meteor 2 off his as well with that early orb retrieval.
And it just feels like, okay, previous round, Loud, walk tube. This time, all right, we'll do the same.
Yeah,
Texture.
Gen.G, very quick to try and respond to it.
They might-
QCK already top mid.
I'm looking at
Karanzine
Tui's.
in, I was going to say, in a position to support him there, but Munchkin shuts it down.
Yeah, and I was waiting to see if Tui's actually gets played in further on this. Possibly, but as it stands, this is just scrappy fights. Meteor gonna grab that one, but that felt like a 50-50. 5v3 now, Sadak less than Tui's with no real foothold in this map. Losing 2 towards middle gives them very little beyond it. They're gonna have to re-clear tube somewhat diligently. Walking into it late. Eyes wide shut, and now Sadak, gotta be careful, there's 2 players here. Again, individual fights. You're kind of banking on Tui's finding some value here, maybe catching a rotate after Sadak's taken contact. You've got to be looking at Tui's. And yeah, well, it's lucky to go down, and now the round feels, I don't know, this is feeling like it's all in the hands of Tui's, right? Like, how much more can one man do? A great deal, apparently. Tui's can do so much for them. Munchkin now in the undesirable position of having to deal with 3, and his pressure up tube was everything.
Less down at 14 HP, but a 1v3 nonetheless. 70 for Munchkin. Doesn't even look like he's really too interested in going for this.
Oh, you look at Les's position, even if he just holds it, he'd be
He might
very
even catch
valuable.
Les here.
Oh, I'm surprised Les went that far. I kind of thought he'd just maybe hold down by pillar. Maybe looking to remove the rifle from Munchkin. But again, these rounds feel scrappy. They don't feel as refined as I was hoping.
Definitely not. Again, obviously talking about where this lies in the map pool and the overlap of these 2 teams. No surprise really, but you'd hope really, with this being left as an option, potential to see it, that Loud would be well equipped, and at least here with a 3-1 scoreline, they're able to keep Gen.G in check. No nonsense from Meteor on the Yoru just yet. But yeah, I mean, Tui's just doing Tui's things here.
That was very nice. I mean, that's how you basically save a round that wasn't his favor at all. What? I think it was like Sadak who was stuck.
I mean,
towards
yeah, they didn't really
right?
have control of anything outside of where spawn barriers are, so...
Yeah. Well, hero rifle left on Munchkin, that's it. The rest are down on Sheriff's. Light armor, I think, behind it, and... Marshall. You got Meteor's ult, but you're not going to, bring that out now, I feel.
Definitely not now.
No, very little chance of that, actually. Clean work from QCK. And, well, we're going to see the rifle shown off there. So Munchkin, they're going to note his positioning. Not a surprise. I mean, this has been his site the entire time. That's not going to be a, head turner, really. But it's going to, if anything, maybe force Loud to commit to this a little harder.
The utility sent in towards A here, but no follow-up just yet. Loud happy to give QCK some time to explore a little deeper. Obviously, the goal here for Gen.G. Still a little bit of damage on the way in. Lucky posted up close with a ghost, but yeah. As if Karanzine sends the owl drone out, going to be spotted out very quickly. Munchkin, see on the X-ray here, trying to find a flank, but Tui's posted up for it.
Oh,
no
God.
way. That timing is ridiculous.
It felt like they were pausing for this. Genuinely, and now can they get away with daylight robbery? No. Very well aware of the possibility of them pushing closer towards the entrance and is very precise towards the site here for Loud. Again, Munchkin was really the only one coming in with a rifle for Gen.G this round, so he was the only one expected to do a little more perhaps, but again, the post plant very difficult to break. Not gonna have.
Oh my God!
Get out of it, Munchkin. Come on now. You're not meant to be doing that. You're not meant to be doing that. It's not meant to even feel that close. A valiant attempt, but it's a round for Loud regardless.
That would have been one hell of an ace, though.
My brain was in the next round. That man was trying to pop off. Ridiculous.
How close is he? I mean, he wasn't far off. He was not far off. Yes, okay. A sigh of relief for Loud to find their fourth. Loud rinse and repeat, though, Lauren.
Yeah, but look at this quick attention to middle. It's Larky who's aware. Oh, the drop of that is just perfect. Teed up for it. Caron smartly and rightly going to pressure the extremities, and he's actually going to be able to isolate the spike. That's gone down and it's in his hands, but he needs the rest of Gen.G to back him up, and then not. Less than QCK with effective trading, keeping them going in the right direction. It's going to be, again, Caron is your last line of defense, right? Like, he's the one holding that spike back. He knows where these remaining players are. They know where Sadak was because he was taken down earlier, and obviously QCK with the res. So now how do they approach this? I'm surprised that Munchkin's drifting this far away. And it's going to be Caron on the chopping block, right? Like, how does he handle this pressure? You got presence from both sides. Does he commit towards one side of the fight? Does he try and just live in the corner?
I mean, Caron seemingly, I'm just looking at the minimap here, it looks like he has a decent read over, but it's Munchkin to find QCK.
Beautiful.
Sadak, 60 HP now, has to retrieve this spike. Still plenty of time to work with, though.
I was worried the Munchkin might have left Caron out to try, but that's not the case at all. Caron held that spike down, kept them safe for the round, and Munchkin catching QCK just before that impact point.
It's just some really bizarre round. Like I said, Breeze can be whoever frags harder on the day, and there's very little nuance to what we're seeing.
Oh, that's
okay,
what he caught.
That's what he caught.
Because I was like, where did he just get that angle? Beautiful. Risky play as well to go all the way around top mid to that and hope that he didn't cross ahead of it.
Yeah. But yeah, already what I've seen so far, Loud obviously trying to keep Gen.G on red alert that somebody's going to constantly pressure up halls, be up towards switch, and really cause some problems on A. Potentially opening up the rest of the map for them, but well, Lakia now posted up with a Guardian. Shut down QCK on that very mission.
That's a bit naughty, that is. Oh, Munchkin, though, so overwhelmed. Less with a quick shot. And Texture now feeling quite vulnerable. There's a little bit of room that he's not safe, and you can see the response potentially as well. Meteor getting a bit closer. Lakia trying to apply a little bit of pressure, trying to give him a way out of dodge here. And Karanzine was so blind, but it's too easy to punish Meteor. And middle is being won out by Loud until now. Can Texture change side? He can't. Sadak with just a pistol. Gonna put him to bed in a 1v2 now. Caron before did so well to isolate that spike, but I love this quick read from him.
Yeah.
Really smart and quick adjustment. Does he expect 2Es? He does with 2Es. Snappy adjustment. Loud stretching the lead.
Third on the round for him with the Guardian. Loud coming in definitely disadvantaged there. Yeah, Gen.G maybe feeling a little rattled after that one. See some investment thrown into it. Loud, yeah, definitely looking like they're happy to just commit to gunfights and feeling confident that in terms of just, I guess, the basic fundamentals that they're going to win out in some of these rounds. Will Gen.G have anything cooked up in terms of proactivity on the defense that, you know, whether it be around Meteor or anyone else in that regard?
It has been a quiet beginning between Texture, Caron, and Meteor. I got to say credit for Caron there. One of the rounds was pretty much his gathering as well. You know, the nice little catch of the cross as well, but I'd say they're a little bit quiet, not seeing those individuals finding that impact.
Sure, I mean, also for Gen.G, this could just be damage control in the first half, obviously expecting this composition to be able to deliver and excel when they are able to attack. But
sure. But there's going to be a limit.
That feels very risky, especially if it's such a question mark with Loud not showing anything here.
Well, that's the thing. You can't come in with prep for Gen.G, right? There's
no, and
there's no tape on Loud.
If anything, Loud should be in like the upper hand because there's so much tape on Gen.G. They showed everything from the map pool, and yeah, we've seen a little change here, but the fact that Loud aren't really tried and tested from kickoff on Breeze themselves, you can't then just bring that in as well, it's blank canvas, really.
Yeah, and I think Gen.G might have to learn on the fly, and I think this is a really good test of can they learn on the fly? Is there something they can maybe implement into this game, in this half specifically, to be able to try and get a grip on Loud here, because Loud's starting to get quite the firm upper hand, and this round feeling very uncomfortable as well for Gen.G, considering they are down to the Sheriffs. I think there's a Guardian there, yes, for Meteor. It's Karon actively playing this, going to play into the smoke. Yeah, there, he's dead.
Yeah,
there it is. This is site control. They have rotations, but again, this could be a plant pretty quickly. Wall dropped, and now away we go. Texture here. Already, you can note Meteor has drifted up closer as well. This is a tough angle for QCK, actually. He could be overwhelmed here, but fortunately, he's got the boys by his side, and it's comfortable for Loud. Look at this.
No real threat whatsoever. Munchkin. Oh, Steery's got a trip in front of him.
Oh.
Nobody saw. We didn't see that. We get a kill though? No. It's going to be a flawless coming through here. Allowed to find their sixth. Feeling very comfortable in terms of the pace of Breeze so far. And Gen.G not really taking the fight to them in the majority of these rounds. I mean, the pink didn't even come through there instead before the owl drone even revealed his position.
One enemy remaining.
They're going to need to see a switch up. Maybe in this round, yeah, exactly. Ultimate's available here.
Decent
Operator
purchase.
back in hand of Texture.
Well, he's going for it, right? If he's willing to stick on this, he's in a bit of danger. Flash will catch, but he's going to be able to retake the angle there, and they are falling off. So now look at where they're starting to commit. Look at the difference. Look at Munchkin.
Munchkin is just charging.
Full W key.
He's going to get hurt.
They haven't turned.
Well, it got pinged out on the minimap.
Yeah, okay. Oh, it's laboured, but a 1-for-1 trade. Well, I don't know what Gen.G are up to as well. This allows Texture Room. That's nice. That's the spike. That's huge.
Noted, yeah.
That's huge. Win out in middle, though. So varying wins on varying fronts. No one's finding comfort. The spike's back in hand. And now Texture trying to control A, but they've lost middle, so you can already see that Karon's gone down because there was no structure to support. Lockett playing ahead here. Nowhere to fall back to. What is going on?
Really
This feels
uncomfortable
horrible.
viewing, yeah. Allowed able to just pick Gen.G apart across the map. This sort of play style not suiting them here on Breeze.
No.
Haven't really got anything to set Meteor or Texture in motion on the defensive side here. Munchkin, like I said, was on a mission from the get-go. He was not slowing down. Desperate to look for a flank and commit to it.
But the way you said it then, desperate. It felt very desperate. It didn't feel well thought out.
Remaining.
And again, all of them trying to make these individual plays to try and maybe get something in favor, but there's no trades coming off it. There's no space going to be taken off the back of it that's favorable. They look really lost here. And maybe they don't want to hit another timeout, but they've got to do something. Look to a different site now. First time we're really seeing this B side tested. No look towards middle from Loud, so this is going to be quite all in if they continue along this path. Already mid can be taken by Gen.G, so hard to fall back away from, but they are. So now do they punish rotations? If you're Loud, you're looking to maybe catch one in middle. You're looking for players out of position, and Texture may be one of them. Sheriff could sing here, though. It's just not going to hold tune at this point. They fall away towards A, and they're just being drawn around the map.
It's similar to what we saw Loud try and do on Icebox.
Yeah.
Show presence one side and very quickly try and catch rotations or even get ahead of rotations. We'll drift slowly back into a little bit of control here towards bottom mid.
Right here.
Less punishing on the other side though. Finally finds that pick onto Meteor. Can he get spotted there? No, I thought maybe Lackey had spotted a rifle barrel, but
Sadak, probably the easier target than most, down a little lower. The spam, it works.
Was that completely through the smoke?
I think it was. Okay, now it's getting scary because it's 20 seconds and QCK goes into bailout mode and you've got to keep going. It's 19 seconds and they've got the spike. It's Texture playing bodyguard duty, trying to keep it safe. Pressure from the left, pressure from the right. Counting going to take down Texture and his game on towards the side. Spike should go down uncontested. And what can Munchkin do now? There was a little bit of hope there. There was a heartbeat, a new lease of life, and that has been put down. Less keeps things going. Loud, fully in control here. Gen.G looking unprepared here.
Yeah. To be honest,
compared to map one,
there's not enough coordination here to really put either of the power players here, this composition, Texture and Meteor, in a position to really deliver. Yeah, I mean, obviously Lakia can only really do so much on a Sova here to put his duelists in, you know, an opportune scenario to really find anything. But we're not even seeing Gen.G rely on that.
No.
To be honest, it
just feels so
it's
solo.
dry, individual, laboured fights across the map. And now, I mean, I said it before, they're completely dissecting them.
Oh, they'll lap it up. Tag? Okay. Yeah, tag and Kaunzin. Texture. Going to note some of this utility potentially, so that could tee him up for some success. They are getting close towards that B site. Munchkin's position, dependent on the judge, would have support from Caron, but starting to get a little anxious about this. Munchkin. Oh dear, oh dear, oh, it's absolutely atrocious. He's not going to be happy about that. Again, individual fight here, and numbers starting to really favour Loud. 4 standing, make it back to 5. Texture going to catch, I think, through the wall, potentially.
Just off the res, yeah. Standing back on his feet for a second, but immediately shut down.
QCK, with this position, yeah, he's feeling himself. He wants to get ahead. Maybe didn't need to do that. Could have been patient. Deciding he wanted to try and make a bit of a difference. Oh, going to go in now. I don't know how much of the spike that covers. Kaunzin, though, going to feel the scrutiny here. Oh, stunning. Spotting a pixel out of place, and that's Texture dead. Kaunzin looking for fault, not going to get it. Meteor with the trade, but it's a little late. But now a 2v2. Tap on the spike and the spray. Not going to get what they want here.
Not again.
It's still going.
Not again.
Not again. Oh, there it is. Tui's this time going to make sure it doesn't go the wrong way for them.
Last round before the
This is heartbreaking for Munchkin. The consideration from Loud. The null command comes through, removes the poison orb. Basically negates any possibility for Munchkin to find value with the judge up close and personal there. On the brink of a 10-2 half hit.
poison's gone.
Yeah, this feels like this map pick is a complete and utter shock. Really, that Loud was so prepared for it. Keep in mind, this is Gen.G's pick.
Loud, pretty good on their permaban.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just, it's really bizarre. Like I said, this could have been the intention of Gen.G to play damage control in the first half and then really try and run away with this composition in the second, but it's a tall order to work back from 2 rounds.
I don't think 2's enough. You know, I just don't think it is. And prove me wrong, I'd love it.
All
Texture. Thought he might fancy a go of it there. Opted against it in the end. He's maybe going to hear some of these rotations. I think he is. So he's really quite poised in the right place.
Right, he's going to get cleared here.
Ult from quite far away, so he is on his own. Lovely from Texture. That's what they needed. Get him a 3rd, and maybe there's a little bit of hope, a little bit of something. We'll have to see a great deal on that second half, but for now, finally seeing Loud with a disadvantage of numbers. Players in the right place as well. Spike still heading towards that A site. You can see them waiting patiently. Caron, one of them. Divide going to come in. Oh, Kaunzin, the combo with that is just rotten to handle. Texture still trying to be pivotal to the outcome because Loud are clawing this one back. He's down to a 3v3 now, and he's just out of it, and Les going to lap that up.
How are they flipping this?
I don't know, but Meteor just right up in between them now, surrounded on both fronts. Tries to take a fair fight, but there's nothing fair about that. Munchkin now just too late to the party. Tries, and actually might do a little bit of chip damage to Tui's here if he doesn't get himself out of danger. And Tui's taking a lot of damage from
Both
this.
of them.
That's a little surprising as Munchkin now ready for it, gets it. He gives them the tiniest of margins. 3 rounds, Mike. I don't know if it's enough.
and have to have something crazy to execute here in the second half. But they said the margin is so small for error. It's a team like Loud who just look, I mean, they've come out of map one looking pissed off.
Yeah, they do.
Like they're happy to just dig their heels in, commit to these engagements. Nothing really too special or much flair to Loud's gameplay.
Simplistic.
Either. Very simplistic.
But
It's what you'd
well drilled.
expect with this composition coming out.
Yeah, very vintage, classic, good spacing, good executes, nice pull of rotations. But as I said, nothing that's going to change the world. But 3 rounds, that is a lot to pull back from. They're going to have to really pull this one forward into that second half. We'll go to the desk.
Thank you very much, Pansy and Hypok. Loud, they've not played this map the entire kickoff, and Gen.G, they picked it against Mimi. Do you think they walked into a trap, perhaps?
I mean, I think they walked into the aim test map, and thus far they have not passed the aim check. Loud's players have been looking so good individually, and I mean, I think they were clearly spending some time practicing this one. They are applying the default comp, they're doing the boring stuff, but the protocols looked good. Everything you expect from this Loud squad, they were showing on first.
Yeah, exactly. And on the other side, we saw a Gen.G that was over-pushing time and time again. As
How
you're
many
saying,
times
I
did
hate
Munchkin just sprint down B main like a psychopath?
Yeah, exactly. Time and time again. And the duos are so isolated one from the other. Loud had to do minimum work to get the entire map under control. I saw no apparent impact from the Euro. I don't know about you guys, but you know, in EMEA, it's a force to be reckoned with. Here, it was nowhere to be found but on the death counts.
Yeah, lot of depths in that regard out of this Euro pick. But it seemed like when Gen.G was running out of ideas, they started to go for these aggressive plays, like Munchkin running down, like some of
but
these
why is it Munchkin?
forward
What I
fighting.
mean, like you have a Euro,
But the
he
thing
can
is,
be
that's
aggressive
Munchkin.
and then go back.
He's the ultimate feast or famine. If you're from EMEA, you know Angel. Same guy, I'm convinced.
Let's talk about 2Vs real quick, because it's not less on the Viper this time around.
But same Vipers for Loud, evidently good. Tui's filling into that role beautifully. This guy was so sick in the Americas kickoff, and he's continuing that here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that his positioning, his off angles, how he's using the utility, everything is definitely looking very good for a map many people did not think we were even going to see from Loud.
Well, Night 3 is a fantastic start. Surely Pansy and Hypok, Loud will never lose a Night 3 lead.
Why have you done that, Sue? Huh? I see that smug little look. Don't turn around. I'm next to you.
It's an interesting throw,
Yeah,
that.
all of the desk are being obnoxious right
Yeah.
now. They're like, oh, they wouldn't come back from this, would they? Not a chance in hell, Michael.
Let's see the first few rounds, and then
All right, yeah.
and then I'll
You're willing and
I'll
ready?
either overreact or say I told you so.
Look, I'm the play-by-play caster here. Let me be the one to overreact. Excuse me? Texture just came bounding in, and he's still alive. Okay, not for long. Well, that was short-lived. And that's, oh God, what? What is going on? Munchkin's a mile away from being relevant to the outcome of this round now. Spike is so deep in enemy territory. And this round was pivotal. This was the only one that could, like, if you lose this, I'm going to be honest, the odds become near on insurmountable and Loud.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a shame. Pissed around as an indicator here. It looks like Gen.G have worked on a couple of maybe, you know, geeky executes around this Yoru, but I just don't think we're going to have enough rounds to see him, to be honest. Texture looks like he TPs into sight there, but unable to really string anything together with Meteor, and Loud just absolutely dismantle them.
Yeah, he knows it, dude. You see that little smile starting to come on Sadak's face. He's like, yeah, we've got him. 10, very early. Okay. I think this is the difference of having tape and not having tape to a massive extent, and completely walk into a trap. This was Loud saying, oh, did we leave our permaban open?
Oops.
Oh, I can't believe I've done that. Can't believe you've done that. And now, well, there you've got 3 rounds and Loud of 10. So, it's a long old road back, Michael.
It starts with a ghost in the hands of Meteor.
This isn't Cadian's clip. This isn't how it goes. You know, this isn't it. It's not Mirage. All right? It's not. Do you believe Meteor is the one? You think he's gonna what?
No,
What
I think
happens?
they're gonna walk into Lester's crosshair. Oh,
But they make it out alive.
it's on the first one.
Then what happens in the story?
I must wait a moment.
This is it. They followed that up. It was
Hang on,
really good. Like
I was
this.
gonna say, Texture actually almost finding on the backside here. Cow and Zine. Well, let's find one. Munchkin will fall, but the plant should come through here.
Okay.
Gen.G an opportunity to reset at least. Texas don't jump onto that, but does find a tag. That's down to 24 now. Are able to stabilize a little bit.
Timing for Caron as well here. Okay, Lucky, that's not bad. Here we go. Yeah, okay. See, if you'd followed up, if you'd committed to the bit, Michael, this could have been quite outstanding. Considering we are now down to a 2v3, and Lucky is still hitting with the classic. Dewey's left reeling with the Bulldog. This has gone any other way than he expected. What a ridiculous round, and Gen.G. He can catch Lakia, that's fine. You still had to get past Caron, you still had to get past Texture, and you don't have a chance at it. Time to back away, try and keep that Bulldog in hand. What a turn of events here. Gen.G, they're not out of it yet.
See actually what the knock-on effect of that is if, I mean now, I don't think saved enough to really get SMGs or comfortably get anything back into this, but I mean Lakia, bundled he's got. Definitely the Gen.G.
Gotta be.
Hitting a little different there from range. Oh yeah. Was that a right click? I couldn't actually see the ammo counter, but it was a right click. Beautiful. Love to see those.
Okay, one Bulldog, Sheriff, a couple of classics. Oh, Texture. There we go. Okay, Gen.G getting fired up here. And they make it to 5. Tui's was the danger man, and he has done damage, but takes a fair bit himself. So, yeah, Texture's just been let off the leash, hasn't he, really? So go frag. Go get some kills. Get the game going.
Now, we did see that on Icebox as well. The first round that Gen.G actually won. We saw what Loud call a timeout at 4-2 to their advantage to try and slow down the momentum of stringing together a couple of pacey hits. Well, Gen.G going to try and repeat that here on Breeze. They definitely need to. The 6-round deficit soon to maybe be 5.
Last player standing.
Texture's had a round.
Yeah.
Go on, find us. All right, that's how you get warmed up.
Those are the momentum builders. Gen.G up to 5 now. They'll be back on a purchase here, but there won't be anything left in the bank after that. No ultimates at their disposal. Gen.G on the brink of a Blade Storm. Texture already taking control of this second half, and QCK unfortunately just face plants into the bricks. Able to get away from that, but for the purchase here, you do favour Gen.G.
Okay, when do we? It's early. I'm asking. Wow.
Spirit's still high.
Yeah. They're a map to the good. That'd be all right. Maybe. It's not scary yet. Loud still have a 5-round buffer.
Oh, hang on a second!
Is just ripping them apart, and as are Gen.G. This guy has been truly let off the leash. Straight in there, no messing about. Ferocious on approach, and the site's theirs.
Absolutely sweeps a site.
And if you're QCK, you're saving, right?
Oh, definitely,
that
yeah.
operator's not going to be risked. For less, what do? You got 350 credits? Cool.
I mean, maybe do a little bit of damage. You got Munchkin and Texture down, but Meteor's found QCK.
How's he done that? Was he actually peeking out from like?
And now the problem is Les has to try and hold on to the rifle, or I mean, Gen.G may be expecting him to go towards the operator. But a beautiful continuation of this pace by Gen.G. You can see Loud just get absolutely sucker punched, to be honest. Completely caught off guard.
And it was almost so disrespectful how confident he was at getting in there. Like, 1, I was like, oh, fair play.
Well,
2?
Again, seeing, I believe Sadak flashed up behind yellow there.
Yeah.
Was that off Meteor, or is that maybe a high flash from himself? And, you know, Gen.G get ahead of that utility?
Hoping we can see it again here, if possible.
There was obviously a stun set up here for Texture. Oh, it was just the stun, actually.
Yeah, it was the stun that caught.
But the snake bite landed, made it very easy. I think Sadak trying to relay now what maybe the game plan is for Gen.G, whether or not they have a read on it, or actually how versatile Gen.G can be with Meteor on the Yoru here. We talked about maybe being the approach of damage control in the first half. This is where Gen.G can run away with it. They become the question mark here, not Loud.
Exactly that. And a second attempt for Munchkin there. Gonna note Kaunzin spotted him on the first attempt, and a pace change completely here. Gen.G shifting gear, a lot slower, a lot more curious across the map. Maybe looking for those adjustments, looking for those changes. Because they've been somewhat in their face, almost brash about it, and it worked really well, but looking to identify the adjustments from Loud. Maybe tube the next port call of at least a few of these players. 3-2 split, it looks like, and there's the ult.
Actually, 3 players up tube here from Gen.G.
Are they trying to catch him? Are they almost hurting them back here as well to an extent, right? Like, Loud are sitting deep on this. They don't want to get caught, so the site will now go to Gen.G, right? Like, that's just a straight exchange. So now the problem is QCK, belting shot towards Texture, who has been an animal in the last couple of rounds. Can anyone else from Gen.G step up? You still have a likes of Caron here, who has been known for those clutching capabilities, but pressured out of position and nowhere really to go. Loud starting to flex a little on the retake as Meteor now left on his own towards Yellow here, towards the back of sight. Gonna note the footsteps, spot the player, and the wide swing, it works to an extent. Tease up Kaunzin.
Lakia does have the Hunter's Fury here, but certainly in terms of the clock, it doesn't feel comfortable. Kaunzin actually going to send one out of his own. He's going to find Munchkin. Lakia now, you can see him shaking his head. Doesn't feel comfortable about committing to it. Will have to concede an 11th round to Loud, who just peel away from this so quickly. Gen.G almost left, wondering what to do with a free site.
And I kind of like what Loud were up to, right? This is lovely, but it's more how they almost held back utility for this sort of play, right? Completely clearing their way back through perfectly, understanding that they can't hold it frontline, so play it on the retake.
Well, look at the comparison. Coming out of the previous Sadak's like, I mean, we just got overwhelmed. There's nothing we can do from behind Yellow there. This is the other side of the coin. Loud, once again, happy to concede space. We saw the same thing on Icebox as well. A good read on what Gen.G wanted to do. And now with a much more comfortable scoreline, they have a few more rounds to figure it out, should they need to. Gen.G definitely slowed things down from the first few rounds. Bladestorm, Hunter's Fury to work with. Comfortable in the purchase other than Texture, but...
Okay. They've been trying to be quiet about this, patient about it. Beautiful control and a beautiful follow-up. Can't quite make it a third, but the damage is done. Early information, everything they would have wanted. So the 3 remaining, Lakia, Munchkin, Meteor, don't really have a big foothold anywhere on the map here, Mike.
Yeah, a little awkward on the spacing. Gen.G punished for it. They'll find themselves in a 3v4. I mean, Loud elsewhere. It's only really going to be Kaunzin that's going to get any audio cues here, but the rest of the utility from less in position to really spell out what this post plant will look like. Gen.G commit to the spike now. In 30 seconds left, Kaunzin already in the back lines.
Oh, this could be criminal. This could be criminal. So little safety. Oh,
no.
Munchkin, that's a heartbreaking moment there. Kaunzin closing in. He's going to say bye-bye, Lakia. And now Meteor having to find something, no value to be had as Munchkin now. After what was a moment possibility that slipped through his fingertips there. He's going to be kicking himself on that one.
It's a round-winning moment there for Munchkin. Just too many targets to shoot at. A little bit of a fumble, but this will be Loud on 12 now. I said Gen.G were comfortable in the purchase, but now no room for error. Has to be flawless from here on out for Gen.G. Otherwise, we will be going to Ascent.
God. And I was almost hoping we saw the moment from Munchkin. As rough as that was the swing moment. Yeah, you can see it. There it is. Yeah. It's so difficult. What was it, 3 players up there? What a difference that could have made. And it would have been a small lifeline, bearing in mind that Gen.G were working uphill, to say the least. This has been an incredibly hard game to come back from. That first half was not good. They're probably not very happy with it. Second half started off with a bang eventually, but then somewhat slowing down. Losing a little bit of that spark to it. You see Kate looking to take heads. His Texture creeps closer up middle, but he's alone. This is a solo somewhat endeavor. Yes, with a little bit of utility help from Caron, but that's about it.
See how quickly Sadak's over here to try and support Gen.G and QCK. So holding on to the backside of Nest as well. I think almost there with Lakia jump spotting us, trying to put Texture in a position to punish that operator. Loud pretty well equipped for it.
Knife probably caught 3 there, or 2 at the very least, I think. And now the pressure's starting to come towards the site. 3 through middle, 2 through main. Flash there, Sadak goes in, gets handled though. 1-for-1 trade out, Texture still alive. Gonna let Meteor work his way in here. It's gonna be Les holding from CT, 1 on site. Still some problems to try and clear, and Les making himself the problem. Good trade for Meteor, but he needs a bit more. Plant gonna come down, and they still haven't fully cleared site yet.
Gen.G's still here.
And that's...
What?
Okay, Lark, yeah, fair enough. That's the kill you're gonna get. No worries, didn't expect that one. But QCK's position might be unraveled. Munchkin this time should be good for it.
Munchkin will have heard that drop. Was baiting up here with the wall. A crucial kill for him, and it's a freebie. QCK falls. 2E's now left to try and recover.
Nice.
Back here to seal the deal. 7th on the board now. You need another couple to break the money. Loud able to still purchase comfortably, and actually with the pick coming online here, an opportunity for Loud to maybe counterbalance that a little bit, leave 2E's in a position to anchor here, because Gen.G have slowed things down. There's an opportunity for Loud to maybe exploit that. Go exploit, they do have rounds to play with. Well, they're happy for, Gen.G to continue making, in their eyes, mistakes, I guess.
Are they going back to what we saw before? Or no, definitely not the same pace to what we saw, but looking to maybe deal with QCK. Yeah, they've been noting that jump spot that you've mentioned just that round prior, but that has been a constant. This time punished by Texture with the operators, not able to kind of do that same presence in middle. But look at this on the other side of the map over by Elbow. Gen.G going to spot one that could actually cause a little bit of confusion almost for Loud. Do they continue to commit to being close? They're going to be both spotted. Surely they've got to make a run for it. 2E's got to get out of danger. Texture trying to close the gap a little. Gen.G does find Munchkin, so the backline worry should be gone. Ult going to come in and Meteor plays ahead. Big pick towards 2E's. But again, they didn't expect Sadak so close by. That flash, does it bank in? I think it might do. But the plant is in, and they are going to sit deep on this.
See already now, tricky position for Loud to try and recover from. Actually, get the tag onto Karen here, so some of that utility outplay for the time being. A miss from Texture, 39 HP.
The timing isn't going to be great now. They've got to get back to having that presence on the spike, and Sadak with a great read, but Lucky with greater positioning. Going to catch Gen.G. Another tap on the spike, and now it's going to get so difficult for Sadak. 1 in front, 1 to the side, and no time to play with. It's 8 for Gen.G. Step by step, they are not out of this game just yet.
Bring it through, and a couple of members of Loud yet still above 2K, but now starting to struggle just a little bit. That's expected to see the timeout at this point. The last few rounds, we've been saying they've had rounds to play with. The investment comes here. There's a chance for Gen.G to really turn up the heat here.
Yeah, this is when it gets fun, isn't it?
Yep.
Because you might get... I want to add into this as well. We've got 2 ults already on deck. We've got Meteors and Munchkins. Then you have Lakia not too far away too for his. So these are big ults, round-changing ults that can completely turn it. So they're going to have that as a fallback plan if they need it. But if they keep going like this, they've got some nice little reads. Again, just that almost assassination of QCK holding Tube, completely isolating the rest of the players.
Which is exactly the sort of thing you want to see there. But if they are going to slow things down, you want to see them have tangibles to action upon. Find somebody to be able to isolate. So that's a huge positive. The problem being is there enough? Like I said, with absolutely no margin for error, is there enough for Gen.G to really fall back on? Now you've removed the operator. Maybe there's not as much of a requirement to find out players like QCK, dig them out of spots. See what the adjustment is for Loud coming out of this.
Okay, so they've got
tempered purchase. They're trying to keep, play their cards very close to their chest.
So your danger players, Les, Sadak, and 2E's. 2E's no armor, keep in mind, so Les and Sadak are your heavy hitters. Actually, switch up?
Yeah, I was going to say, Les's utility now. Flash sets QCK in motion, but does spot Karen. Ballsy on the repeat there. Lucky not to get punished. Gen.G almost anticipating a little bit of aggression to come out here.
Oh, the timing on this. Texture, did you miss him? You
absolutely did.
So now Karenzin's been let off.
What? He's rechecking it.
Oh, the guy's just Texture.
And it's at the perfect time. He was about to shoot Karen in the back there.
That feels almost...
But he did. Karen's down to 5 HP.
I don't know how he felt that time. Maybe hearing a step, but it felt like he was already on that trajectory. So now QCK fancies another bite of the cherry, but he's going to miss the window. They're already heading away from here, but they're hurting them. 3 players going to be waiting on that B site. Sadak only has a classic, though, again, but the rest have rifles.
A little bit of a misread here from Gen.G. Loud. Be able to position themselves to maybe be in a position to punish this.
Can they still be so diligent about it? It gets so dangerous, right? The slow, oh my word, too. He's going to isolate Meteor. That's great. Held at the door, 30 seconds now. They're starting to run low on time, and there's no fallback plan because look at the flank. He pulled the trigger on the first, which I'm surprised by, but it's an issue. They have to clear him somehow.
20 seconds.
They just have to run. You can't stop. There is no stopping now. And QCK, a little short on the day there, just to, needs to, there we go. Does get it through. Spike gonna go down. Nothing should be able to stop that here. Karen's just gonna try and play out his life, buy some time for this. Oh,
it's all coming apart.
Falls, and now there's problems. Now it's down to 2. Texture. Oh
my God!
Double, a chance, a glimmer of hope. Can he hold on to it? Can he do it for his side? Keep them in this game. Oh, a snap, but it goes astray. Tui's the one to break him in this game. And the one to take Loud further in this matchup.
There's a world there.
There's a world.
Where Texture's able to compose himself after that collapse, regain his footing. But Loud able to close things out, 13-8. It's that first half, too dominant in my eyes. For me, it's a huge positive to see Loud come in with this because I think the desk have absolutely nailed it. It addresses some of the main issues with that Phoenix. Now, some sort of pressure towards the backline possible alongside Karenzi and QCK, but I mean, both teams pulling out the curveball. Yoru on map 2 and 3 here. Definitely excited to see it and fitting for the closing of this series.
Oh, Mike, I can't believe it. I'm not mad about it. Not mad about it at all. Sadak, not going to spot Meteor there. So
timing's perfect for Meteor, yeah.
You're just going to find value from it, though. Trying to bait it in, almost. Too lucky at trying to set something in motion, but yeah, it sadly goes to nothing, which is always a little bit of a disappointment. Oh, the swing! That flash to the swing was fantastic. Lakia is incredible to at least trade that back into touch, but at this point, Gen.G have already got side control, right? So Plant's going to come down. Bit of a strange exchange in middle, but also look at Lakia's positioning.
Yeah, wrapping all the way around. I think did note that QCK was chasing him, but now in a position...
His timings.
Yeah, to cause an issue back towards short. QCK trying to deal with...
Good paranoia.
The door on the way back through, yeah. Slowing things down, but you noted it before. Look at Lakia now.
He's got to get there in time because Munchkin's fallen, maybe very late, but I guess the plant is for it, right? Look at the plant position. That's perfectly placed for it. Karen's done really well here. Texture trying to keep their attention. QCK wins the fight. Now we got to look at that plant position. Does it come into play? Lucky's gone down. QCK over-delivering, overdoing it, and Karen's getting in it. The Clutch King himself gonna pull this one off. And Gen.G with the first.
Beautiful conversion from Gen.G. I just think the whole time there, Lakia's the one to really throw a spanner in the works, but dealt with very quickly. Beautiful aggression from Loud to come out here. It's actually QCK's flash to open things up initially. He finds 3 on the round here, but forced into a very tricky position. Try and stick through this first half to fuse. Gen.G pissed around on the board. Only a ghost in the hands of Tui's. See what resistance there is here. Only noting one as Sadak to drift away from main. A preemptive rotation comes through from Loud. Definitely the firepower suiting Gen.G though, as we've said.
No real threats yet. see Loud are poised very nearby, though. Just at that jump off point. Oh, the timing. How has Sadak lived through that? That feels like Texture was good for it. Paranoia.
Sadak's 1 HP.
Oh, yeah. The Paranoia are actually catching so many. Sadak and less, though. Finding value from the door, and now Texture feeling a little bit pinched here, and the shots aren't clean. Loud turning this one back on its head. Munchkin
They're both locked out in main.
Yeah, they're both at the same spot. This is rough. The HP is really low, though, and Gen.G just need to try and weather this one out. Les doesn't have the HP to play with, but he does get himself a nice little upgrade here, so could do well. He knows it's coming, though. He's read. Oh, you couldn't read that one, though. A really nice attempt and made it very costly.
Touch and go for a moment there.
Yeah.
I think with 2Es falling when he did it, if there was a smoke coming up or any possibility to cut sight lines here. Obviously noting the fragment and the nano swarm still available for Munchkin and Meteor, so yeah, Loud definitely making things work. Like I said, Sadak swinging back through 1 HP and finding a kill. Some damage done. Obviously Gen.G be suffering from that. Just 2 guarded. Well, actually now Meteor rifle in hand as well. The Sheriffs to round out the purchase.
Doesn't feel as a threatening of a bonus, but I want to see what they can do with it, really. Rifle with Meteor is the interesting part to me, and a pace change. Very quick to this. Sadak is going to get the drop on them, sure, but does get to keep away with his life. 2E's going to try and post the Paranoia. Texture's ahead of it, though, and Sadak's going to check him. Just straight body check him on the corner. Texture's going to go down. Nice little underhand. Flash again, still stalling out here. Costing them a great deal. Sadak is being a nuisance. But he actually gets caught.
Tries to flash out.
I thought he was good for it then.
Maybe with the door would last another second or two. Karanzine gets a better Alakia. Now brings it to a 2v4. And Sadak, the only one that Gen.G able to really pin down.
Timing. Bloody hell. Brilliant from Les. You'll take it every day of the week. You're smiling with that. Caron saved him in the pistol. I think this might be a little too far. Although Karanzine really wants to give up his life. Does he expect less? No, he doesn't. Les catching crosses twice now. And happy with it. Loud going to make it through that first hurdle. It was the bonus for Gen.G, though, so how'd you keep 3 rifles? They'll be okay with that. This is the big test, though. Yeah,
great work from Sadak and 2Es in the last round as well to isolate, really create some space between Texture and the rest of Gen.G's numbers. As I said, Meteor doesn't actually land the molly to try and force Sadak out there and is punished. If that's a focal point for Gen.G, because every single round here, Loud running with a different setup. We know how they like to play around the breach. Create as many possibilities as possible, but a big crunch outside here. Meteor can't pin anything down.
That's actually horrific for him. He's going to be gutted with that lucky. Oh, QCK right nearby, and they are just getting mauled to death here. Loud in their face, aggressive, pushing them in spawn. Loud, unrelenting now. Caron, again, in a similar position to before, this time in a worse scenario, however. Sadak is low on HP, and they're drifting back. They're falling away.
Try and run the clock down now. Still 60 seconds for Caron to work with, so plenty of time to make something happen. We've seen the clutch ability of this player in this series so far. This is a tall order here. Les, Sadak, and Karanzine to overcome. Have his ultimate available, but obviously question marks as to exactly how Loud have retreated.
The whole map feels like a threat.
I mean, you see he's clearing every single angle here. And those 60 seconds now turn into 30.
Where does he go with this? There's no smart guess, because there's no way you can put together where they are, right? There's no way you can just gamble an informed choice. It just doesn't work. So you're going to try and bait it out with the smoke.
And nobody's going to see that smoke, though.
Oh. So not really going to have the impact he wants. 15 seconds now, and he's walking towards the site with 2 players.
They're both tucked in hell as well.
Yeah, and he's leaving it so late. There's almost no time for adjustment. There's the smoke, and they're going to close the gap here. Yep, he knows it. He's a sitting duck. He takes down 130 HP now, and he's unthreatened. Spike is in. Oh my god. Oh my god, I thought
he was way off that. I thought he was way off that plan. Oh, regardless.
Okay, all good.
Unless
all good.
Seals the deal here. We'll give an orb across to Sadak. The Caron, man.
Whoa, you
those
saw
last
a window,
5 seconds look like 10 somehow.
God. How does he get away with that? In the fact that he just stood there, bullets flying past, tracers just real close by, giving the old nose job at that point, just barely making it out. Wild. But again, this whole round, Mike, they're literally pushing him in spawn.
Yeah, beautiful setup here from Loud to open things up. Sadak catching his breath after that. We'll see how much Loud have cooked. Again, because a lot of these set pieces they have, we'll hold that thought for a minute.
It's pacey. You can see the exchange of the knives, both going to note each other's positions and progression towards it. Texture disrespecting the utility. Doesn't care, goes straight through, Stinger in hand, still wants more, not going to get more. Meteor follows up towards QCK, but there's still Tui's, and Tui's is holding on, and he's holding on damn well. No access allowed, Tui's. That's his site.
Gen.G have previously run away with a few rounds like that in this series, but well handled, well maintained here by Loud. A massive gap in mid that's exploited by Texture. He's up short so quickly, all the way into tree. Unfortunately, nobody from Gen.G able to really make too much progress on the other side of things. Sadak slowing things down with the fragment. Able to keep things in check. See, maybe a little bit of aggression outside A here. I'm seeing Cow and Zine set up.
Oh yeah.
Flash of the TP comes through.
Commitment behind this. Caron's above you, both, and he gets both. He waited so long for that as well. Real patient play from him there.
Can't even really say it's a little complacent from Loud. Caron kind of waits out both pieces of utility. Munchkin now looking to re-aggress with him. There's still two members of Loud on the other side of this.
You're surely thinking, no one's going to be sat here, right? Like, you're doing your diligent work here from Munchkin, you know, he's checking, but Gen.G, I mean, the aggression has been there, and they get rewarded for that heads-up work, that diligence in play, and even might catch that mid-lurk. This is lovely. Gen.G reading Loud like a book, prepared perfectly, and delivered. Scoreline looking much, much more even.
Absolutely, but a full house for Gen.G in terms of the ultimates. So plenty of options for them now. The other side of things, less obviously one away, Karen Zine 3 off, but Karen able to turn the tides on this early round aggression, tie things up. So with this lineup coming through, Gen.G might look for a pacey set piece. Well, Sadak can do the same thing again. It's been too easy for Sadak to slow down some of this aggression previously. Once his Fury invested as well.
Oh, but Munchkin ahead of it, catching Sadak on the back pedal. And I'm looking for the lockdown, it's there as well. That's looking like the site is very comfortably theirs, but I'm looking at the spike though. And
well, Karen's TP'd onto B, yeah, this is just a fake around the lockdown.
I reckon Tui's can do anything about this.
Tui's just TP'd ahead. Oh, he actually cancelled.
I thought he might commit. I was almost hoping he does, but decides to back away. Won't have much info from that then. But his positioning's good to catch Meteor, potentially. No, really tough.
Angle.
Now less with the spray, pulled away from the dash, but gonna have to fall off from this. Respect the cross. Spike made it to sight.
A really strange round here.
Yeah. Oh,
and
another
invested, but yeah, QCK now looking to try and find some information. The stun on the back of that info and punished by less.
Okay.
The value found here, but Munchkin responds.
And then you got to look at the late positioning coming up from Meteor as well. Good positioning on this. The weird spot that's going to be coming in from Munchkin. This is all, oh my word, Tui's. Backhands him on the way towards the site. Now you look at the backside. This is Caron, the guy who's super clutch, the guy who gets some great work done, and they're doing it right now. Munchkin falls, so now they know where that last player is. Tui's. Can he close the gap? Can he find them? He can, but it doesn't matter. Caron is so sharp with it. Yeah, that round was bizarre, Mike, but it works out.
It's a very well invested fake. Obviously with Karen the one to TP across early, does confirm obviously Loud's reposition, but I mean again, something goes wrong in the mid round here. Tui's commits to that TP for some reason. Somebody catches off, you know, catches the rotation, sorry, through Link. It feels very, very uneasy. Looks snappy from the other POV. It looked even worse from Karen's.
He's stepping up, he's warming up. We've seen a lot of, you know, texture moments here and there. We've seen a lot of the other players as well having their time, but Karen this map certainly leading the fray. And we're looking at what they've got. Pistols, Stingers, Guardians at most for the Loud side. So a little rough around the edges and hoping to maybe find an advantage where there probably isn't one. At the moment, too, he's just currently holding back 2 players who are looking for the orb there. No chance to really do any damage on it either.
I have the spike.
Gen.G just trying to get a good feel of the setup here from Loud. That's obviously semi-committed towards this. A stun off Karanzine, maybe on contact here. Could set things in motion as Gen.G are drifting as 5.
This could be quite nice.
Yeah, into this choke point. TP's already sent across as well, so QCK can be here pretty quick. First one there, and the stun does slow things down as well, Lauren.
Fantastic. Isolates one. That gives them a chance. They pull the rotation, 3 players on the side now. It's going to be difficult for Gen.G to cleanly take this. They've still got a little bit of kit, though, to play with. Not a massive amount, but Munchkin and Larkia's kit is in play, but they've got to be careful approaching the side. Looks like they want to fight towards CT. Sadak's here, though. This is becoming messy. This isn't right. This is going terribly wrong. And Tui's comes out of the flash just behind Munchkin, though. Gonna lose his life. And now where do they go? Do they go back towards A? Do they run it down towards B? They're going to go into the unknown, and it's the right choice. Munchkin holds them back. And now the 1v1. This upgrade to round, so QCK going to get himself the Phantom. Karen with the plant. This guy has been good. Leading the board for Gen.G.
It's open as well. So plenty of opportunities for Karen to reposition, play a number of different angles, and plenty of question marks for QCK.
No kit for QCK either. No additional utility to maybe work with.
And the time probably going to decide this one, Lauren.
Feels like it, doesn't it? Unless it's a fumble from Karen, but it feels like that guy is not making mistakes there. And you're right, the time, you can hear it. Clock's starting to tick faster, and QCK has to at least get this to half. He knows it. His options are very limited. That open plant, he's got it to halfway. That's not bad. Oh, and Karen with a wide swing across, dragging QCK's aim way out of the comfort zone. He's going to get the round. I mean, this guy's worth his weight in gold currently. 11 kills, 4 deaths, and a good couple of rounds that he's been tipping the scales on.
I mean, already what he's done so far in this series, but delivering here in map 3 versus a team like Loud, you can't ask much more of your rookie. Compose in the clutch here once again. And giving it on stage as well. The energy's still there for Gen.G. Almost riding the wave here. Loud, I don't want to call this a desperation timeout. It's a 5-3 scoreline, but
they do feel behind the curve. If we're talking about, I guess, round pacing, the way the rounds have gone down, I mean, it's 3-5, sure, but it's been a correction from Gen.G. They brought it back from those 3 rounds on the trot that Loud claimed. They've got a good grip on the game. We're seeing the individuals show up here. I'm not seeing Loud determining pace, it feels like. They're a little bit behind on that, which normally I credit quite highly towards Loud. I think they're a very good team at demanding the pace, either defense or attack, it doesn't really matter. So seeing them a little bit behind the curve here, still want to say a little bit more from that Yoru coming into play, see if I like a bit more of it. It's not had masses of time to show.
No, there's been a couple of small pieces we've seen around, obviously the ultimate, the fault line coming on the back of that. Obviously that early aggression with QCK finding his way all the way into tiles and pressuring into Gen.G's spawn, but certainly have it. Again, we're not really expecting too many switch-ups. Obviously the Yoru really addresses a lot of the issues on the attack.
Yes.
In terms of getting through choke points, addressing the back line, and
give it an operator.
Yeah.
Well, this is set for his success, right? He is in the place for this if they do continue on this pathing, but there is that question mark middle. That was a very wide peak from Caron to stand
similar to the last round.
Yeah, this time a little earlier in the round than before, but now Meteor with 3 on the platter, going to spot the first and slip across. He does have support there in the form of texture.
No way they re-texture.
Surely not, especially by finding Munchkin, right? Like this, if anything, plays him in even further, but he's got to play patience, and it's going to pay dividends. You're going to find one, and Lucky claims less. So this battle in middle is somewhat going Gen.G's way. QCK tries to re-clear,
oh no.
Misses. That's heartbreak. But the second bite of the cherry potentially could be the one. This could be it. Could he find him? Oh, the angle is rotten! And Texture just dancing around him. Leaving Tui's just drifting around like there's nowhere to go.
See, some of the weirdest rounds of Valorant today.
Yes. Are we the problem?
Such a strange exchange. in mid here. And Lakia finding that, I can't even remember that. I mean, I think it's the kill onto Les, if I'm not mistaken, that really throw things into disarray. And like here, dashing past, and then Tui's expecting them to commit towards B. Gen.G really starting to feel themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And getting a good grasp on some of the chaos in the mid-round here.
That's an elusive thing to be able to do. It's a very small list that people have been able to handle Loud in some of those more chaotic moments as well when they try and get in their faces too, because we saw that aggression from Loud in just a couple of rounds prior. They were literally pushing them in spawn, so they've weathered that, but now we go again. We look at this. QCK, quite aggressive towards B, but he's going to fall away from this. We can see all the attention is towards A. That knife is very, very important.
Problem being, there are 2 lurks elsewhere, so Les has to consider the possibility. You can see he is trying to get a feel for things elsewhere. Gen.G drift away from this, sending 2 up catwalk. You texture Caron to try and find something. For the rest of the setup as well. Loud tucked into the corner. Oh, come on, committed here as well.
Okay, texture. A whole lot of targets and very little time, but they are damn good at this. Clearing through well, too. He's still going to draw blood, but it's Gen.G sweeping the site perfectly. Lucky here on the follow-up, and it's QCK tucked away. Quietly waiting this out, but there's problems here. He was noted on the knife, so what are you meant to do at this point?
They're going to know he's in hell as well.
Yeah, surrounded and hounded. Look at Lucky. That's cruelty. That's what you get for trying to come ahead of the reload. Oh, my word. Got a little scary there, huh?
Down to 12 HP there. Oof. But a 7-3 lead for Gen.G nonetheless. Loud missing everything but the null command committed in the previous. Gen.G, a Hunter's Fury, a Blade Storm, and a TP of their own. Really looking to stretch Loud out in this first half of Ascent. Almost can't believe it, but a string of rounds unanswered here.
5. That's huge. And again, oh, look at this combination. This could be really nasty. They have seemed to make it out alive. Caron does find Tui's in the meantime as well.
Oh, he's drifting out short here. Look at where the death marker is.
They can't stop succeeding, it feels like, this team.
QCK, though, look at the ping. They've actually pinged out exactly where QCK is repositioned to. A couple of pings elsewhere, but
I want to see
the awareness is here from Gen.G.
See how well you clear this. Oh, that's how well. A pop flash. He does turn it, so QCK so quick on that. Can't do much more, though. Finding one is really valuable considering they already noted that position. They were already heads up about it. That is wild. Gen.G. Bloody impressive this side.
I think only noting texture there, but maybe a little bit of a red herring. He's noted towards short. Especially with the smoke coming through now. 2 other members of Loud have committed towards this B site hold. TP will come through, will confirm presence on back site. Cow and Zine and Les do here. Rolling Thunder to work with. 2 snake bites as well.
25 seconds.
That's big.
Time. It's running short. Spike is still in the hands of Caron. He's the one to keep him in the back of your mind. If you see that player, look at his position. More stall going to be invested here. They've got to move further ahead. They can't sit back and wait anymore. The plant going to come down. They can't deny it. It looks like they're going to be held at the back of Boathouse. They can't escape here. And now it's a firing squad. But Loud onto back. Caron and Meteor in perfect unison. And it's Sadak slowly working forward. Finally gets towards the B site.
The one-way goes up as well.
That's half of the entry points gone, removed. He now knows that Meteor was playing a little bit closer, tucked by the boxes. But so much to clear and so little time. And you can hear it. That spike ticking. His time dwindling. Running low. Looking like another 8th for Gen.G here, who are under the gun. The smoke just coming back up. This guy has no hope in it. Gen.G playing an exceptional game here against Loud.
We could be in a similar situation to what we saw on Breeze, which is just too few rounds to really make this comp change. You know, get limit tested.
Give fair chance. I just don't know if it's enough. Maybe 4?
6 unanswered for Gen.G. Caron now 17-5, leading the charge.
What a game from him. What a map from him. Good series. I think Tex should be up there for series. But this map, he has been exceptional.
Get out of my way.
Right place for it too here, though. Quite a lot of Loud on the other side on A. Let's see if they fully commit through this. Gen.G tempering the pace a little, allowing Texture to probably get a little bit of work done with this operator.
To slow things down, maybe anticipating the lesser purchase from Loud, equating to some form of aggression across the map, but as the smoke comes up, a fragment comes out from Munchkin. And follow up on this paranoia, I was just looking to slow any progress from Gen.G.
I mean, the thing is, though, Gen.G is so happy to do late executes.
Yeah,
it doesn't even matter. If you're not going to capitalize on it, it feels like, they're still going to be happy to hit on 20 seconds.
TP sent out by QCK as well. So ready to rotate. Gen.G have got themselves set towards it, and it's Caron again. Sadak will fall, a first blood will open up round 12 here. So he has to respect this now. We'll still have QCK here, but tricky spots to work from.
Kaunzi maybe. Has he got what it takes? Oh, the flash, the little delay on it as well, bouncing off the wall. He couldn't even turn it in time. Well, that's only good for one, and they're succeeding everywhere. Now it's QCK and Tui's split between the map and hello! Turn around! Texture gets there first, removing QCK, opening up the site for a plant, and Munchkin takes out Tui's. This has been decisive, Mike. Breeze was a different deal, but seeing the scoreline like this...
Look at that timeline.
Look at it. Look at that. What can you say about it? That was a masterclass from Gen.G there.
Absolutely is, and we do still have the questions, the composition in the second half, if this is what it's designed for by Loud, but I mean, coming out of that, it's a tall order.
The big question now is 3 rounds enough for us to even have a chance to see what that new Yoru is going to look like, what they could do on this? I'm not sure it is.
We never know, Pansy and Hypoc, we never know. But the thing is, in terms of that Yoru and this comp, Mimi, what do you think about what we have seen so far?
I think we saw a few cool rounds, right, where they had these preset plans and they were working well. But I think where Loud got dipped was later into this game when it came down to the fundamentals. This is an example of the good, right, for Loud, where they have this really cool kind of variant of almost a shark attack, where you're crunching into B main and punishing Gen.G for it. But then as we got later on, we still saw Loud going for some of these ideas, but making little mistakes, not clearing the corner in pizza, not looking up when they're going for that fight in A main. Gen.G players are sitting there, they punish. Gen.G, I also thought, did a really good job of slowing down, waiting for this aggression, knowing that this comp lacks information, because its only active info is a Kaonek, no Sova drone, no Sova dart, and it lacks information because you have no Sentinel to hold space in the mid-round. They just had to bide their time, pick the right moment in the mid-round, and they were so successful at doing so.
Yeah, but it's still not enough, because on the other side, Kakuka, Caron, he's here.
Hear me out. The performance that we're seeing coming out from him, we were talking about all the names that are going to be back in the stage, and the new faces that we're seeing. This is the controller that you want to see. We talked about all the rookies, how Narid and the rest of KC had a brilliant day, but Caron is on a track of his own. 413 ACS just in this first half. And not only that, we're seeing him on stage going crazy, shouting at their opponents. Even at the beginning of the day, he was like, who's Loud? I don't hear anything. They're very quiet for being called Loud.
Yeah, this Gen.G team is looking electric. Texture is stepping up as well. They look on course to upset Loud 2-0. What a moment it would be for Gen.G.
Yeah, they're on the precipice of a potential upset here. Pansy and Hypoc, let's see if they can bring this home.
That's the big question, is it? Can they? Can they actually bring this home? 3 rounds were all that Loud could claim.
Like I said, we're in exactly the same boat as we were on Breeze. Now we need to see this composition really do numbers for Loud.
Yeah, it's
Gen.G
be good.
off guard. Gen.G basically have to drop the ball here, because they were in total control that first half.
Yeah.
All starts with the pistol.
I mean, got weirdly close on Breeze, and keep in mind, Gen.G didn't even win that second pistol. They turned the next one or something mad. But if we're going to talk, you know, odds and statistics and what you expect to happen, if Loud want a chance, it starts here. This pistol is critical, vital to success. Gen.G could hammer in that first nail in this game. Munchkin's about to get a whole lot of info on that. Yep, hello, that's half the team there. Where's the fifth? Doesn't matter, let's focus on the first. Les does find luckier, so that
Fragment doesn't land either.
might be a bit of a problem here, actually, yeah. Cowanzine gonna find Munchkin. Oh, Sadak as well. That's gorgeous. Meteor with a lot on his plate, and he ain't gonna be able to do much about it. That's clear cut from Loud.
Clinical to kick things off here. So you need to see the conversion on the second, but finally a response on that round timeline. Could that be... I was going to say, I don't know how much of Lakia was visible there, but it didn't look like much.
One enemy remaining.
Sadak luckily played in some favourable timing there in that mid lurk.
Round by round.
No investment here from Gen.G. Haven't seen it since Icebox.
Yeah, only a couple of sheriffs. I think it's Shorty there for Karen, but that's about it. So it needs to be quite the mistake to go astray. And Les isn't particularly, you know, looking like he's trailing in this. He's still got that kind of confidence. He's willing to really brawl out. QCK on the other side,
One enemy
doing rather nicely. And yeah, this is Loud looking almost automated in the way they're working through this. Gen.G not really having much of a looking yet on this map, at least. Yeah, done. Cool. Get it out of the way. Flawless second here in the second half. Loud. Now with an opportunity.
Yeah, you'd almost hope. Obviously, the conversion is going to come through from this round 3 as well. Make things as comfortable as possible to start this second half. Actually, even getting things together here. Two Vandals, and 2 Bulldogs to work with. Not stacked up ahead of the spawn barrier dropping. Gen.G may be toying with the idea of getting aggressive outside B here.
Well, it looks like it, doesn't it? And the flash as well, Les. But Les will fight. Les will always fight. He's taking a look towards middle as well. We have seen a lot of attention to market going out from Gen.G too. But there's a lot of pressure points. Meteor's the first one to draw blood, dropping Cowanzine, and he gets a follow-up on QCK as well. He is dominated short now. That's a problem, because that unlocks all of that stress, and it allows Meteor to roam. He might even get a bit more. He's seen so much here. Paranoia, yes, is going to at least slow him down, but he ran it like a book. He's going to be punished on that. That was a round and a half from Meteor, and honestly, Loud just falling short.
Absolutely. Let's see, with that round loss, let's see what the purchase looks like, or at least the funds look like behind this for Loud now. Double digits found for Gen.G. Meteor. The stranglehold gifted the third onto 2Es as well. If maybe he thought that Meteor had slipped a little further back onto short, but with the second player in mid, argue it, yeah.
But again, that was the bonus now into the bite. But it was a well-situated bonus, and it wasn't because of the weaponry. So, you know, we wait and see. Texture willing to go walkabouts. It's all a bit of a look. In the meantime, we've got that mid-control. Oh, the timing!
That is ridiculous for Meteor.
Oh. Makes your stomach drop a little. You can see Sadak wants revenge, but the Aldrone's going to check him. They know the position now.
Really solid protocols on display here from Gen.G. Meteor might even be played onto the second. It's a stab at it, but doesn't overcommit.
It feels like middle's off the cards. You can't work that anymore. They're 2 heads up about it. So where did they go now, right? You've still got a little bit of room on A, but they don't know about any of this. They don't know about Munchkin's position, who's just about to get his knife back as well. So that's going to be the grand reveal. Unless he actually gets shoulder checked first. Oh, I guess denied. He doesn't get the full picture. Now Texture. Oh, that's clean from Texture. 2 big hits, 2 headshots. Spike dropped and predicts 2Es just as well.
Oh my
Come
God.
on, Texture, get another. Show us what you got.
This guy is absolutely phenomenal. Map 3 finds Gen.G their 11th round. And looking so damn clean in the process. We talked about it being maybe concerning if Gen.G have to rely on these individuals, but in rounds like that, it just looks so clean cut.
It does. Really does. Oh, they're ecstatic. Absolutely elated. 11, when you string together 2, it really turns it. 'Cause you know the Loud's money now is going to feel that pinch. It's not going to be in a good position. And they pump the brakes. Loud know it. This game was, you know, recoverable on the half. They did what they had to do. They got that pistol, but the second those rifles came out, Gen.G re-emerging.
I mean, really, if you look at bringing this composition out, the fact that QCK is the first to fall in the previous, it takes away some of those options that, you know, Loud maybe did have cooked up. Now they come into the next round 5 of the second half with no ultimates to really fall back on. I mean, yeah, QCK won away, but he's going to have a stinger maybe to make something happen with. But I noticed it in the previous, the defensive protocols here from Gen.G, really well drilled. Nobody overcommitting. Players delivering in positions they need to. And Meteor, the prior example, Texture here, another. Really, really caught off guard. I said the map veto the first curveball of the day, some of the compositions along the way, but Gen.G have thoroughly impressed me.
Yes.
Loud, unfortunately, falling a little short in my eyes.
And not
but
because
it's not
of some
often
of
we
the
say that.
No, exactly. It's not just solely, you know, oh, we didn't like this comp, we didn't like this. It was genuinely, I think Gen.G outplayed them here. Quite hard as well. But as it stands, we come back in with a shoddy buy for Loud. Stinger, Stinger, Sheriff, and that's about it. The other side.
They pretty much have to make something work in this round.
Yes. The one bonus, they do get the ult for QCK online. That was the initial purpose of that play towards A, so that is in pocket. Maybe the Yori ult makes some difference, maybe not, because Karen's already found less.
Less. Maybe gives away a little bit of the game plan here. The Owl drone definitely will.
Hello.
Yeah.
Loud's coming to my site, guys.
He does have an Odin. Opportunity to potentially slow things down here, but not noted just yet by QCK. Now he will be. The stun comes through, confirming that.
But
Meteor with 3!
Oh my god, in between a rock and a hard place, Meteor puts himself there. He willingly walks into it. Oh, that's just outstanding from Meteor. Gen.G make it to 12, and all of those problems, all those little threats that could have happened get pushed aside, and now it's do or die. Loud have a purchase here. They don't have an instant ult to play with. You got 2 away for Sadak, 2 away from 2. That's not what you really want on Omen anyway. They have nothing to depend on. And on the other side, you've got Knives Texture, lockdown for Meteor, full purchase. Loud, if you got anything, this is the round to show it.
No wiggle room left here. Texture.
Fast mid.
Yeah, very aggressive here, forcing Loud. Well, at least less. Much deeper into spawn.
But the
And a ton of information, a ton of map control garnered on the back of that. Lockdown available. Like you said, the Killjoy utility littered across A site. But already, Gen.G are able to make their way over towards A site. The Loud commit here? Then they are.
Yeah, the lockdown, what's the plan for the lockdown then? Still that util, open plant. Can they get out in time? Oh, no, Meteor catching him on the cross. Big punish there. Anyone gonna get caught by this too? None detained, but herded away. And look at Meteor, hot on their heels. Larkio with 1, down to County in less than 2s. The defuse, it's going on, they can't stop it. Gen.G crush Loud in the final map here. Incredible performance. And a lot of us now very much on board the Gen.G train.
Wow. I mean, I'll put my hands up. We talked about this matchup at length when it was announced, and I wasn't really buying into the Gen.G stonks coming into this, especially drawing a first round versus Loud.
I think that's a fair assessment.
But I said at the top of this series, today will be the day they validate that hype, and I think they've absolutely done that, Lauren.
Yeah.
Looking so good. I mean, Karen and Texture, obviously the headline is here.
Yes.
Karen, by the way, delivering again top of the board on the final map as well. Map 3 versus a team like Loud delivering. It's a real joy to see, and actually, I'm very pleasantly surprised. I'm quite happy to be wrong in this scenario.
Absolutely, because a lot of people were, and again, if you look at it on paper, you can say, oh, but, you know,